You're making me. You gotta make me. I gotta ask this. What was your main on RuneScape, old school RuneScape? What was your class? What was your whole thing? And were you a member?
I wasn't a member for 10 years. I've been playing old school since 2009. Or I've been playing RuneScape since 2009. I played old school after like 2015, 2016.
Mm-hmm.
Because I quit the game back in 2011 because the wilderness and free trade were gone, and I was just like,
Yep.
I don't care.
What's the point? Yeah.
Because yeah, me and all my friends, we used to be those kids that would like lure kids out into the wilderness and like absolutely gang up on them. We were those kids. We were those kids.
And
it
you're
was
canceled,
hella
buddy.
fun.
You're done. We got Switch. We got Switch in the studio. Yo,
Hello.
dude, how you do? So tell me, how's your day? What you been up to today?
It's been pretty good. I haven't done anything today. I finished up my final project for my software engineering class. I was actually
Okay.
turning it in like 5 minutes ago.
What? What? So are you done then for the?
Yeah. We're good. For
You're
that
done
class,
for.
we're done.
Oh, for that specific. When are you done
Yeah.
for the semester or the quarter?
I finish next week. I have all my finals next week, so
Okay.
it's gonna be this weekend's gonna be rough. We're just gonna be grinding out homework, doing all that jazz. But
Damn.
it is what
Mhm.
it is.
Well, I'll make sure then this can be more of a relaxing session. All right, make this.
Hey, I'm excited.
I am too, Swish. I am too. I got a lot of questions. I don't know. I've been doing a little research, and I was like, I got a couple things up my sleeve that I need to
Oh
ask
man.
Swish here. But I appreciate you. Let me. I'll start you off from the top here. I tell the guests how we connected, and for you, there's this ecosystem of Minecraft streamers, and I'm starting to realizing it
Mhm.
more and more. And it's just like these content creators. They what I love about the Minecraft community, especially in terms of streamers, they really have a lot of love for fellowship. There's not this competitiveness or this malice. It's this hey, I want to support such and such. And so for you, a lot of the people I formerly interviewed always told me, hey, take a look at Swish. Yo, give him peep.
No
And
shot.
100, I'm not even joking you. I knew before, like, there was no formal big, like, yo, how do I say this? Like, you got to be put onto this thing. It was literally like 5 to 10 streamers were like, yo, check this out. And so constantly when you hear all this stuff, I was like, fine, all right, let's take a look. And I remember rating
Yeah.
you. I remember
Yep.
rating you.
I do remember that.
And one of the things I do is like I see the thing about a raid gets kind of weird because you do this dance of like I hope they realize I'm kind of here but kind of also eating. So I'm watching you. I'm watching you, and literally all it took was the way you spoke. That's what drew me in. It was the way no face cam. I think you had your keyboard and mouse at the
Yep.
time, and you were speed running. And it was just the way you conversated with your community that I was like, oh, this is a no brainer. It's so easy to talk to this person, whether it be through text and even verbally. This is the first time you and I have sat down here and had a
Yeah.
conversation. So had to have you on. Super easy to book you. You're just like, yeah, sure, this day works. I was like, say less, let's go. I know we tiptoed around the face cam thing. And because I was worried, I was like, "Oh man, does he know that that's kind of the shtick?" May I ask, first question being, why, what made you decide not to do as many face cam streams as you do now?
Um, I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
I woke up one day and my sleep schedule used to be terrible, like worse than it ever has been now.
Mm-hmm.
But I woke up one day at like 9 p.m. and I was like, "Oh, piss! I need to stream, but I don't want to show my face because I look like an absolute goblin." So I was just like, "I'm just not gonna do a face cam today."
Yeah.
And people were like, "All right, cool." So I was like, instead of that, I could do like a keyboard cam because I think that's
Mm-hmm.
cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't know. I just got lazy, never put my face cam back.
I've heard that it's really relaxing, honestly. Like I've heard a
Oh
lot of
yeah, no.
streamers tell me that, and I'm kind of jealous. Like I'm trying to figure out a mental way where I can incorporate that too. but it's like, but I like that, and I like that, you kind of just stuck with it, and of course, whatever floats your boat, if it works with Facecam, if it doesn't, whichever. But I love how that doesn't take away from what you're doing on stream at all, or how you
Oh
communicate,
yeah.
or how you entertain. So, uh, big props to you. Let's start off with the real first question, though. Swish. All right. It's the
All
same way
right.
I've started every show. But how long have you had your Twitch account before you were streaming in general?
I think I've had my Twitch account since 2015.
Mm-hmm.
I've gone through several accounts. The only reason why I've gone through several accounts is because I've forgotten the passwords to them, and then I've lost the email accounts to those.
Okay. Yeah.
Um, but I mean, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm. So you're constantly making accounts, and then you made one that was originally you had the name Switch was taken, correct?
The original username to this account was
Yeah.
actually the same as my League of Legends username back in 2013. It was Nix 9001.
Nix
Um,
9001. Okay.
that's also my Xbox gamer tag.
Okay. Wait. Now you're about
But
to get a
yeah,
bunch of ads right there.
nope. I don't
Let.
I don't use my Xbox anymore, so
Oh, it's done.
unfortunately,
It's
it's out.
It's out. It's out. Let me ask
Yeah.
this though. You switched it then to Switch was taken. Why that name?
So it's actually a funny story. A lot of people, or when I still had the username Switch was taken on Twitch,
Mm-hmm.
um, a lot of people were like, especially when I started moving over to Minecraft, a lot of people were like, "Oh, are you a Dream stan? Like, who do you like in the Dream SMP?" And I'm just like, "Listen, like, don't get me wrong, don't get me wrong. I love Dream. He's a great content creator, right?
Yeah.
He makes really, really entertaining content,
Uh
and I
huh.
respect the hell out of him for being able to absolutely grind out and bring all of his friends up with him. Like,
Truth.
I respect him a ton for that.
Truth.
But I'm not a Dream stan, like, in any way, shape, or form. Like, I just respect the man and his content.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I feel it.
I got my username because 2 years ago, when I was a senior in high school, I took my Switch to school one day, just as I normally did, because
Mm-hmm.
I played Mario Kart, I played Smash with all my friends at lunch. I took my Switch to school one day, and it got stolen out of my bag. We had a fire drill
Oh
that
my.
day. I put it in for my first period class, came back, it was gone.
Oh my
And
gosh. No idea. No. No. Would you even? Do you even have any assumption of who it is?
absolutely not. It got yoinked.
Wow.
Like,
It
it's
got
is
yoinked.
bad.
That's brutal. So
It's tough.
so you dedicated your name change to that. You're like Switch was taken. That's it. I'll never
Yep.
forget.
Yep.
And
Well, actually, I wanted the username Switch on
mhm.
Twitter, um, but obviously it's taken by some New York Stock Exchange company.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
but so I was like, you know what? It's a double whammy.
Yeah.
I win either way.
Perfect. Yeah. It's a clean name. Well, then you recently changed it to Switch after partner. And
Mhm.
it's just it's sleek. I think that was the first time I saw you was when you changed it
Yeah.
to Switch, and I was like, "Oh, hell yeah, dude. That's nice. That's a clean cut name there. It's easy to spell, no caps,
Yep.
yada yada. It's nice." Going back to Twitch here, and especially your start. So when you first got on the platform in 2015, how did you find out about Twitch?
One of my IRLs actually used to stream back when we were in like eighth grade,
Hmm.
and I think he used to stream Overwatch, CS, and a bunch of other games that we just played with like a bunch of friends. And I saw him having like a ton of fun, and I was
Yeah.
just like, "Yo, I want to be able to do this sometime. Like,
Hmm.
that would be super sick."
I love that. I love that.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
So then going from being a viewer and kind of a, the new kid on the block in terms of creating your account to becoming a streamer, when did you press that go live button for the very first time?
The first time I went live was, what was it? It was my when did I go live? Because I used to stream like really inconsistently.
Hmm.
I used to stream old school RuneScape on my laptop because I had a really, really bad laptop that
Yo,
could barely
okay.
handle like Streamlabs being open.
Yeah.
And I used to play old school RuneScape a ton, and I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna vibe, listen to music. My first couple
Hmm.
streams, I had no mic. Um, I would like respond to chat in like the in-game chat box,
Yeah.
and it was really bad. It was mostly just me and one of my IRL friends just watching. He didn't know what the hell was going on, and he was
Hmm.
just like, He was just there and vibing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You're making me. You gotta make me. I gotta ask this. What was your main on RuneScape, old school RuneScape? What was your class? What was your whole thing? And were you a member?
I wasn't a member for 10 years. I've been playing old school since 2009. Or I've been playing RuneScape since 2009. I played old school after like 2015, 2016.
Mm-hmm.
Because I quit the game back in 2011 because the wilderness and free trade were gone, and I was just like,
Yep.
I don't care.
What's the point? Yeah.
Because yeah, me and all my friends, we used to be those kids that would like lure kids out into the wilderness and like absolutely gang up on them. We were those kids. We were those kids, and
And
it
you're
was
canceled,
hella
buddy.
fun.
You're done. That's if there's anything you're gonna get canceled. We were the ones that we would PvP. How would you let me ask you this? All right, since that's beneath you, since that's the past. How did you lure these children into the wilderness? I believe was the saying. How did you lure these players into
Bro,
the
it's
PvP?
literally the easiest thing on the
Tell
planet.
me.
You can just say, "Yo, I'm filming a YouTube video,
Yeah.
and I need you to bring your entire bank, and we're gonna go to the wildy. I'm gonna trade you, and you're just gonna show me your bank," and that was it. Like, I fell for that trap. That's how I started doing it with all my friends, because I fell for it. I lost my entire bank one day because I got absolutely robbed. I got jumped in the wildy. One night, just a random ass night in 2009, I got
Yeah.
jumped.
Wow,
And I
you
was
still
like,
remember
you know
the
what?
year. Holy cow.
Yeah, because it was when I first started playing. I
Yeah.
got scammed so many times on RuneScape as a little kid, man. I got scammed by the rune armor trimming, like the two trade
Oh,
rune armor
yep.
trimming.
Yep. I've been that. Yeah, yeah.
It's bad, dude. I've
You've
gotten ripped off in that game.
you've literally lived long enough to see yourself turn into the villain, is what I'm hearing
Yep.
though, Switch. You've
Yep.
officially gone the other side, but I respect it. I loved RuneScape. I need to go back to that game. So when you went live for the first time, do you remember that first stream? Do you remember the things that were running through your head and the feel of having, Streamlabs up and you doing your thing and being live publicly?
I do, but mostly it was just me vibing. Like,
Yeah.
I know at the time, my parents were also just like, you got to focus on school.
Mm.
Because I was a senior, I had like all my college apps and everything like going through that year, and I was
Mhm.
just like, yeah, I know, but I was just vibing. Like, I was literally just listening to music and I was just playing RuneScape. And then one of my IRLs that came into chat, he was just like, "Yo, I don't know what the hell's going on."
Mm.
I would just like explain things like as I was doing them
Yeah.
in the in-game text box. But yeah,
That's
it was
awesome.
pretty fun. I enjoyed a lot of it, and I wish uh, I want to maybe stream RuneScape again because I think it'd be fun. But it's also
Mhm.
just like a hella grind game.
Definitely. But
So
but like it's good for like you could be doing stuff and talking to chat. So it's a nice little, again, one of those vibe games, one of those hangout, no pressure, and just, something to do in the background and something to look at while you're playing there.
yeah, 100%.
Hmm. So tell me this then, all right, as we transition over, when did you realize that, oh man, streaming can be a bigger part of my life than what it already is?
Um, I really like the only reason why I think I'm here at the moment
Hmm.
is just because like last year, back in January of last year, I started streaming consistently.
Hmm.
I was bored in college, and I was just like, what if I started streaming like just for fun? And I remember like the first week that I actually went live, um, I went live at like 11 p.m. and I had the most scuffed setup on the planet. I would, I had an old VGA monitor from like 2008 with a
Yeah.
VGA to HDMI adapter plugged into my Switch.
Hell yeah.
I had cables running across the house. I had uh, no camera, no mic.
Oh
Well,
my
I
god.
had no like actual mic. I used a really trash headset mic before I even got
Hmm.
my HyperX headset. And I remember just going live and I was just playing Smash on my Switch, and then
Mhm.
people watched me and I was just like, why the hell are people watching me? I'm not even good at this game.
And so then clearly traction started to build. You started creating your own community. People started coming back consistently because, I mean, I think one of the half the battle of streaming is showing up. Having the streamer
Oh
just
yeah, for
simply
sure.
go live. So that's awesome that it's become, and it's built into something that I don't know if you even originally imagined it to be as what it is right now. I don't know, but that's awesome. Uh, that being said, Switch. All right, you know what's gonna happen next. All right, this is the part of the show where is somewhat of humanizing the guest. It's the fine middle ground. I'm trying to find middle ground between you and I.
Yep.
And I have your account pulled up, your Twitch account here, and I have 3 clips.
Oh boy.
And the hard thing, I wouldn't be too worried. Your clips are fairly clean. They're fairly clean. All right, they're not. There's nothing I could find that was gonna be a gotcha. But there's a couple that I do have some reservations. All right, some
Oh
inquiries, if
boy.
you may. Um, so this first one, you can listen along on your end if you'd like on the stream. I'll switch over scenes. Just 3 clips, very easy clips, nothing to worry about. Switch. You again, one of the squeaky clean ones that I've had to check out here. This first clip is titled "Any Tips on How to Keep a Hardcore Going." All right, the title alone had me enamored. But let's let's see what you had to say, as well as I feel like there's a little bit of bonus of what the hell is going on here in the clip alone. So let's give a listen. It's about a minute long. All right.
Any tips on how to keep a hardcore world going, both in the start and at the late game? I would say starting a hardcore world is definitely easier than maintaining one. Yeah, don't die first of all, but don't die is probably the easiest one. But like, um, what is it? What is your thoughts on Moobot? I need to get Moobot and Buttspot in here. I want to get Buttspot in here for sure. What the fuck is this? Oh, what? I remember this. What? 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 Oh
And you
shit.
just jump. You
Um,
just
okay.
that's everything there. So the 2 questions. Let's start off first. Can you explain to me what's going on here in this clip? All right, for an old boomer like myself, what's going on in this clip?
So, I'm gonna be honest. I have no idea. I don't know what happened there because that's never happened to me before in game. Um, but somebody had asked me in chat
Yeah.
how to start and like continue a hardcore world without getting like bored.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's very easy to get bored. Like after, obviously, you start a new Minecraft world, you build a house, you get all the materials you need, and then you go into the Nether. You make the Nether look a little bit cool, find a fortress, get all of your blaze rods, go into the end, beat the game, and then you're like, well, now what?
Mm-hmm.
So, like the fact I was playing on my hardcore world for about a month at that point, I
Okay.
think like a month or two at that point. So people were just like, "How do you stay interested?" and all that. And then I ran into a chunk error. So I don't know what's wrong with my hardcore world, but there's a specific chunk that if I go into, my game just crashes.
It's done. Wow.
Yeah. So
I've
like
never seen
everything
this.
everything will be there, but nothing will respond.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I have to save and leave the
Oh,
world, but then when I save, my game crashes.
Jesus.
So that's kind of just what happened here. I
And,
think I went into the one like arid chunk, and
mhm.
then
This doesn't count as a death, right? This is
no,
what occurred here.
I
All
never
right.
died. I
Yeah,
never
okay, you
died.
never. All right, you never
So
died.
I'm still alive, but it was
Well,
funny.
let's see what the tapes got. But the second question I do have in terms of what was going on here, similar to what the question was from your community, aside from the advice you just gave, where it's like staying alive is the biggest prerogative in a hardcore world. What other tips would you give to Minecraft streamers that want to start a hardcore world and keep it entertaining, keep it going?
Honestly, just building like little things. You don't have to make every single build like a mega build.
Mm-hmm.
But just building like little things. Like what is it? I spent an entire stream just building a path and building like a little swing set and a fishing dock. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's literally all I did. Um, And obviously, like I have some streams where I commit to like a bigger build, such as like a house, a villager breeder. Like I built a library for one of my streams,
Yeah.
and it's just like obviously, you can commit to bigger builds,
Hmm.
but at the same time, it's just like if you don't know what you want to do, you can just take some time to think about it. Just
Yeah.
build like little things and make your world look a little bit nicer, and also just interact with chat. Like that's literally all I do when I play hardcore. Like my
Mm.
my community likes to call me a just chatting streamer with Minecraft in the background because I half the time I don't even do anything in game.
Yeah.
That's why I switched
Yeah.
over to speedruns because if I'm gonna be running around for 4 hours, I might as well be trying to do something.
True, true, true. I like that. I like that. And that's some wisdom right there because I think a lot of people do get too excited when they stream and then they start doing everything at once. And then once everything's done, then there's no more content. You kind of have
Yeah.
to a little bit stretch it out. You got to make it last there. So I like that. I like that. That's the first clip there, Switch. See? Easy. Nothing to sweat. There's nothing to worry about. Mom's has got you. Mom's has got your back. That being said, let's go on to this next one. It's titled POV. You tried to be like Dream, and we talked about Dream earlier. So let's see how you try to be like Dream in this clip right here. All right, only 19 seconds. Let's see what happens here.
So check this out, guys. I'm gonna become Dream Minecraft. Okay, check. We're not gonna talk about that.
Dream
not gonna talk about
Minecraft, huh? Dream
that.
some Dream Minecraft.
Listen.
What happened? What's going on here? I think at least Dream was able to set a record. Whether that was, that's up to discretion. But I don't think Dream ever did that. I don't think Dream ever did that. Switch. What the hell is this? Even this man was so cocky too. He came in with this swagger, and he just steps to the side and literally gets flamed. What happened here? What's going on?
Oh my gosh. So I forgot that Soul Sand is just slightly lower than every other block in the game. So you can, if you are on the edge of a Soul Sand block, you can actually touch the other block. So if it's like a water block, you'll be in the water. So in this case, obviously it's lava. So I stepped over. I'm not entirely on the block, and so I get hit by the lava and I die.
Unreal.
It was supposed to be the dream boat clutch thing, the lava boat thing that he does in his manhunt, which is why I have 8 boats in my inventory in a speed run.
Yeah, that makes more sense. I was wondering what all the boats were for, but I've never seen that one before. Speaking of speed runs, though, what is your PB?
My PB is currently 22 minutes and 43 seconds.
Ooh, okay. Will there be a time soon where we're aiming for under 20?
That is what I've been trying to go for the past month, and I've come pretty damn close a couple times.
Okay,
I've been in the end in 15 minutes, and then I forgot wood for beds.
Oh,
and I just stared at my inventory for like a minute, and I was like, man,
it's over. It's over from there.
Yep.
Honestly, when I went through your clips earlier, I saw at least 3 good speedrun like compilation fails. You can make a whole YouTube compilation fails of your speedrunner, man. It's hilarious stuff. And this is the one though. It was specifically because of the call out to Dream, where I was like, I gotta get my money's worth from this one. All right, he was coming in with too much swagger. But okay, that's the second one there. All right, that's the second one. Again, easy breezy. The third one. You talk about hardcore worlds in your first one. We saw in your second one this epic gameplay,
man.
but now it's time to put somewhat of your money where your mouth is. And the title for this one says, "Rip the Hardcore World Frowny Face." All right, let's take a look. It's 42 seconds long. Let's see what happened here in your hardcore world. All right.
Let me try it out and see how magma blocks will look right here. Ouch. Oh my god, I took a lot of damage there for no reason.
Does it all right there. Does it
Yep.
all right there. What in the world happened here, and how long did you have this hardcore world for?
I had this hardcore world for about 100 hours, which
Okay.
is not a whole lot
Hmm.
for for most people. But for me, this was like the first hardcore world that I actually tried to. After years of not playing Minecraft, this was the first hardcore world that I was like, okay, I'm gonna actually have uh, like things here to do, and I'm gonna make it look nice, and I'm gonna try and live as long as possible.
Hmm.
I made it to just over, I think it was like 370 days in game.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, this was just a terrible, terrible mistake. Um, I
What?
went into this area
Okay.
probably like 5 minutes before this happened, and there were no mobs. And I was like, all right, there's just not going to be any mobs. I'm going to be
Yeah.
chilling.
True.
Um, but I walk in, there's two hoglins, and I'm like, okay, I can back up, I can eat a little bit. I expected the piglin to do 1.5 hearts
Okay.
because that's how much piglins do with a netherite hat, pants, and boots,
Jeez
and no
Louise.
chest
Okay.
plate. He ended up having an enchanted sword that does 3 hearts to me, and at
Yeah.
that point, I'm like, shit.
It
I
was.
think it's the end,
It was done.
and yeah,
You wrote it yourself. That's something. It couldn't be written any better. Literally things needed to happen, whether it be the
yep.
spawning of these NPCs or the equipment being used. It was the perfect storm for you to lose this world. That's brutal. That's brutal.
This
Currently,
was
mhm.
Sorry. This was the
No.
first hardcore world that I'd done ever since I started streaming.
Mm,
There's actually another one. I'm on my third one right now, but
okay.
there was a second hardcore world that I probably lasted like 30 hours in, which is the reason I don't ever use shields in Minecraft.
Wait. Why? Why is that?
So basically, when you use a shield,
Yeah.
as soon as when you hold right click, um,
Okay.
when your shield is visually fully up, it takes about a quarter of a second for it to actually activate.
Huh.
Even after the shield is like fully like visibly up, in that quarter of a second, you can get hit and take the full brunt of any attack. And I was just mining in a ravine. A creeper fell down. I had my shield up and it exploded and I died anyway. And I was like, man, shields
This
are
is it.
ass, bro.
Yeah. What's the point? What's the point?
Ever since then, I've been anti-shield, and I've just been better at the game.
This guy's an anti-shielder over here, all right? This guy's an anti-shielder. That's what I'm listening here, all right? Let's see. That's propaganda here. That's Minecraft propaganda.
Everybody that plays hardcore, anyone in the hardcore community will tell you
Mhm.
shields save lives, and I'm over here like, nope, that's just not even
Wow.
true. That's just not even true.
You're about to get photoshopped with a tinfoil hat and a quote that says "Shields don't help." All right, if that isn't built within 24 hours, I will find someone to build that myself. That's hilarious. I've never everyone I see always has a shield, especially with
Exactly.
speed runs too, which maybe that strat is different. But I've never heard of this take of no shields for a hardcore run. That's fascinating. That because of the mechanics, it's just not advantageous.
Yeah, no.
The way you speak, though, the way you speak of Minecraft, whether it be a speed run or a hardcore world, is so analytical. I've noticed it's very like the fact that you broke down how many hearts each weapon and enemy would give you gives me the indication that this ain't a joke anymore, ladies and gentlemen. All right, this is life. All right, and Switch over here is fighting for his life here in these hardcore worlds. That being said, that's all the clips. All right, Switch. That's it. That's it. Nothing bad. We didn't get
All right,
anything.
all right.
It's nothing to sweat about. But you know that I'm a Twitter main. All right, you know
Oh
that
boy.
my
Yep.
love for
Yep.
Twitter is exudes time and time again. And I found 3 of your tweets. And I will say this too. I swear, your Twitter is so clean. It's so clean. You got clean retweets. You're supporting your homies, your friends here on Twitch. You're promoting yourself. Very rarely could I find a Switch hot take or a Switch out of context. And I live for those moments, Switch. I live for those moments. So here are 3 tweets. I want you to explain to me what's going on. All right. I need you to explain to
All
me what's
right.
going on here. And I'll ask you some follow ups here. First one, very, very way back. We're talking August 30th of 2020. One of your first tweets, if not your first official tweet. It says online university is the premium version of DeVry University. A real shot at DeVry. I'll never get sponsored by them now. But why this tweet? Where did this come from? And let's start off with that.
I I was just talking with one of my friends, and we were talking about how bad online university was because we were
Hmm.
like, "This sucks. This is terrible."
Hmm.
Um, but we always compared it to like DeVry University, and it
Hmm.
came from a server which now one of my friends, my IRL buddies, he goes by DeVry and A.
No
And
way.
his Discord server is DeVry University. So with the logo and all,
It's
his Discord
everything.
server is DeVry University.
Hey, let's get a shout out for DeVry University. Let me ask this though. How do you feel about online courses? I see my ass has been out of school for years now. How has the pandemic and all those changes in life, especially doing school online, especially college online, how has that affected you? And is this a method of learning that you prefer or not prefer?
I absolutely hate it. I'm gonna be honest. It
Hmm.
it sucks
Hmm.
because professors aren't inclined to, like actually be, I guess, not communicative, but like interactive. Because nobody in college, especially, like nobody has their cameras on, nobody talks using their microphone, and they
Hmm.
actually encourage you to keep your cameras off and your mics muted so that you don't interrupt the professor. So it's
Really?
more, it's yeah, it's less of like a college experience and more of like I pay to watch YouTube videos online.
Wow.
And I'm
Wow.
just like, if I really wanted to learn all this, I could learn it, but I wouldn't get the degree.
Hmm.
So it's just like it's just a glorified version of YouTube, like YouTube videos that teach you how to, you know, learn about history or teach you how to do math.
Huh. I see, because the thing is, the way I've seen like COVID classes lately has always been on TikTok, and all the teachers like cams on, da da da. So knowing that, like and I think I'm assuming that's middle school, grade school, and high schoolers. So to hear that this is the world of university where it's like, you don't got to turn on your cams, and actually you're learning a lot through YouTube. You're literally, we were clowning on DeVry, but you're literally at the University of YouTube at this point. All right, I think you're double
Yeah.
majoring in I don't know I don't know what YouTubers come double majoring in dream and or your own content, but after that last clip, I don't know if you're graduating with a degree in dream from Dream University there.
Listen,
All
listen,
right?
it happens. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes you fail a class, but you can always bounce back.
True, true. Maybe he'll give you some extra credit there, but I I agree. It's definitely it's interesting to know that that's kind of how the world works in current times, but especially know that online university is truly the premium version of DeVry. No love for DeVry. Still doesn't get that love. That's the first one there, Switch. All right. The second one I have here is just you're throwing it up, and it looks like it's a late night, and it just says got adopted by a bunch of nerds. Omega lol hashtag moo bot twit selfie day, and this was posted at 7:40 p.m. on April 6th, 2021. Can you tell me what you meant by this? Who adopted you, and who are these nerds? And what is this moo bot tweet?
So, Moobot is a bot for Twitch, obviously,
Okay.
and there's like a little bit of a cult following behind it,
Mm.
across like Twitch and Twitter. So, one person from this group chat called Moobot group chat was like, it came into my stream one day and
Mm-hmm.
was like, "Yo, what's up?" And they were just vibing, they were having fun, and
Yeah.
they were like, "Do you want to be a part of our Twitter group chat?" And I was like, "You know what? Why not?
Sure.
Why not?" Um, and then all of a sudden, like
Yeah.
all like 6 or 7 of them, they're just vibing. They're in my streams all the time, and then they're like, "Yo, so our 2 month anniversary of making this group chat is coming up. We want you to post a selfie day because you're part of the group chat." And I'm like, you know what? All right, I'll do it. So they've
Yeah.
like kind of adopted me into the little I guess Moobot cult because
Uh-huh.
now I'm a Moobot advocate. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm
I've been liking it.
you see the thing is you've been telling me you're like clear you started off this story with clearly Moobot's a bot. I actually didn't know this. What kind of bot is Moobot? What does it do?
It is much like Streamlabs or Fossabot or Nightbot,
Hmm.
and lets you do like song requests, it lets you like moderate your chat like automatically and stuff like that.
I see.
It's just it's pretty helpful for streamers.
And you just got in on this little cult following here. Are you still tight with
Yep,
the group?
I am. I am.
Hey, let's go. Let's go. I'm waiting for the next Twit selfie day, all right? I'm waiting for that next one. I like how you hit us with the Peter Parker Spider-Man pose right here. You hit us with
Yes,
the
sir.
and the
It's the classic.
sunflower. Yeah, oh, it's a classic. It's a classic. Yeah, you got Post Malone playing in the background in my ears. So the second I saw this photo, man, it was too good. It was too good. This last one here, a little bit more of a serious note, all right? You hit us with something right in the feels. And I like the take, but I would love to hear more of what you have to say about it. And where did this even come from? All right, you hit us with the no content creator is gonna praise any of their fans for sending hate towards another anyone. So please don't do that. Spread peace, love, and positivity. That's been the wave. Smiley face. I really love this take. I fully believe that. Especially when your audience, your community, your fans, whatever you want to label it, is a representation of you. And so when people go to bat for you, and maybe their intentions were good, where it's like I want to defend my stream or whatever, their intentions were good, but the execution was not. If I may ask, where did this this honesty come from? It's very, in my opinion, compared to all the other tweets, it was a bit out of pocket in terms of like, oh wow, he's really speaking up and he's really taking a stance on this, as well as does this opinion change? It's been almost a month since you've tweeted this.
Um, I think at the time I was seeing a bunch of hate for bigger content creators, especially like people digging up things that they've done like years ago.
Yeah,
Once you get big, it's gonna happen eventually.
true.
Um, and so people just go through like people's old tweets, like their old videos, like who they interacted with before, and they just find any reason to try and cancel people or try and get people to address things that you don't really have to. You don't have to address it because
Hmm.
if you're a good person now, then obviously you've looked at what you've done in the past and you've said, you know what, this is not this wouldn't fly now,
Yeah.
and so it's good for you to learn and become a better person from that. Most of the time, you don't have to address it, like at least in public.
Hmm.
In my opinion, that could be a hot take. I don't know, but
Hmm.
in my opinion, as long as you learn, like from what you've gone through, from what you used to do, and learn that either that was right, that's kind of fucked up, or
Yeah.
even just you know you're like, maybe this isn't what I want to portray myself as,
Hmm.
and you just learn from that and become a better person, then that's all that matters. I was seeing a lot of hate on my Twitter timeline, especially toward like larger content creators at the time, and I was just like, you know what, especially with like people that have like much bigger followings, like they have content or they have followers that have their like the content creator's face as their profile pictures, and it's just like
Mm.
they don't want to be associated with that just because
Hmm.
that's not a representation of their community
Yeah,
by any means.
definitely.
um I know Boomer made a tweet about it either yesterday or today, which speaks
Oh.
volumes, like because it's true. If you Most of the time, any content creator will probably agree with me here. If you are spreading hate with like a content creator's profile picture or their face as your profile picture, and you're going around spreading hate to other people, telling them to do things to themselves, like that's fucked up, bro. You're not
Truth.
representative of that person's community, and you know, I can guarantee you that like nobody there actually wants you to be like a part of that community.
Hmm. No, that's true. Yeah,
So.
especially that the hate, the harassment. I agree with you. I've seen that a lot lately. This past couple of months. Maybe it's because we're all cooped up inside. Maybe it's we're a culture of people who love to complain about something. But I agree with you fully on all the takes you said. I would want someone, yes, at the very least, give them an opportunity to explain themselves. You know, if or when or whatever things come to surface, allow for them to make their claim as to what happened, as well as how they've grown. Because again,
Yeah.
the canceling stuff, man, we got to teach, we got to make a change, and especially with the how I see all of you, in terms of how do I say? I don't like continuously making myself sound like I'm the oldest man on Twitch because I'm not. But it's like I look at, I've interviewed a lot of people and many of them are younger, and I have this thought process and this belief where I'm like, yo, Twitch/live streaming still is the future. It's not even in full effect, in my opinion. And second, it's like your guys' voice and how you guys, whether it be bring or tear each other down, will really define the next couple of years or the next generation. So I support you in that, and Boomer's takes on cancel culture and especially those within your community that or people that are using profile photos that have your same face, and at the same turn, using their words with hate and disrespect, and having that be kind of a representation of you is nasty, dude. And we would want no part of that. I don't think there's any creator in their right mind that would agree with being like, oh yeah, like let's send out the minions. Go ahead. Actually, I need you guys to actually hate on someone real quick. Why? That's ridiculous. That's a ridiculous take there. But Switch, that's all the hard stuff, all right? That's
Hmm.
everything. That's the tweets, that's the clips, that's the surprises of the show. Now I'm gonna ask you some introspective questions about your time on Twitch, and then we'll parlay us into your life story, all right?
All right.
So the first question being, what have you learned about yourself through streaming?
I used to be super introverted. Like I used to be horribly shy. Like I would go meet like my parents' friends and I would hide behind my mom. That's how like shy I used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I even like even now to an extent, I don't really like seek interaction. If it happens, then I just float. I just go with it.
Okay.
But I don't really go out and seek interaction.
Hmm.
Like it's just if it happens, it happens. But if it doesn't, I'm just chilling.
Yeah.
Um, Especially in like the last year, I've learned to like be okay with just being like alone and by myself. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's very easy to feel like lonely, but at the same time, it's like it's kind of nice because you feel like you're in control of everything. Because like everything that you do, you're in control of,
Definitely.
which is really nice.
That's an interesting take there because with streaming you're putting yourself there so publicly, so to say like introverted and especially to the extent of shyness that you shared where you're literally hiding behind your mom when family friends are coming over. My question being, for that, returning back to your first stream, did you find difficulty in breaking out of that shell of being more open and extroverted? Because to an extent I think that's streamers kind of have to do that. We have to show a little
Hmm.
bit of personality and initiative in conversation.
Yeah. I think my first ever stream back in like my senior year of high school,
Hmm.
I was just like, I don't think anyone's gonna watch anyways, so I just went live and I just said, "Fuck it, we ball."
Fair play.
and
Fair play.
but like after I started streaming Smash, back in January of last year, I started taking it a bit more seriously, and I wanted to get to, I guess, I wanted to break out of my shell. It was one thing that I wanted out of streaming.
Hmm.
Was just I wanted to be more comfortable talking to like audiences of people,
Yeah.
regardless of how big or small it was. Like I wanted to be more comfortable just talking to people, like knowing that um, the person behind the screen, like the person behind the username who I'm talking to is like an actual legitimate person with their own thoughts, their own feelings, and they have their own opinion of me, and it's scary to think about for sure, especially as a content creator, um, that like people have their own opinions of you and people like look at you in different ways, because there are people that have probably seen me once
Hmm.
and hate me for just I don't know why.
True.
'Cause, like, it
Yeah.
it definitely does happen.
Hmm.
There are people that look at you once and they're like, "I don't like this guy,"
Yep.
for no reason.
Truth.
and there's nothing you can do about it. Like
Mm-hmm.
I used to be very very like self-conscious of my first impression of or others' first impression of me.
Hmm.
So I'd always do my best to make sure that I had the best first impression. And most of the time it came off as me being or me like trying too hard or me being like awkward.
Hmm.
Because I would always overthink my interactions and I'd always be like, I could have done this better, I could have done that better. But at the end of the day, it's a first interaction. You're gonna meet up with them, you're gonna hang out with them, you're gonna talk to them. They're
Yeah.
gonna see you when you're not expecting it. And so you gotta understand that, like, no matter what happens, um, people's opinions of you can also change, you know?
Mm-hmm. True.
So
And even if, for those people who decide not to change their opinion, that's on them. You
yeah,
got to move on. There's a lot of people in this world, and I can't
exactly.
be losing sleep on some nonsense, even if it's, some huge creator or even, whatever. It doesn't matter. There's a
Exactly.
lot of people. Uh, Let me ask a follow up to that. Like, how do you feel you are at with that journey of saying that you breaking out of your shell essentially? Do you feel like you fully broken out of your shell? Do you feel like you fully stepped into who you feel you are online or here on Twitch?
I think I'm getting there for sure. It's definitely a lot better. Like
Hmm.
what is it? I'm a lot more open with myself and
Hmm.
with like what I am like comfortable talking about just because, it's interesting being your own person is what I've realized cuz all my life I've been trying to, assimilate with other groups and just like
Wow.
uh, you know, uh try and what's the word?
Sounds like fit in.
Yeah,
Simply.
fit
Yeah.
in. Um, that was literally just all I tried to do growing up. But it's good to be unique. It's good to be your own person, and
Hmm.
that's kind of what Twitch has taught me. Because if everyone was the same, this website would be boring as hell. I'm not gonna lie.
Exactly. That's truth. That's truth. I like that. That's really good stuff, man. See, the natural question I would have is like, then who are you? But I feel like we're gonna know that. We're gonna learn a lot about that in the next hour or so once we get into the life story. So I'll hold off on that question. Maybe someone else can ask that in the community question segment at the very end, so we could return back to it. But the next question I have for you is, how would you describe your streaming style, Switch? How would you describe your streaming style?
Um, I would say that I'm just like a laid back streamer. All I do is we just play. I used to care about like DMCA music, but now I don't give a fuck. Like I have all my VODs muted, so it's like
Ah,
whatever, dude.
fair.
If I get a live DMCA, I get a live DMCA. There's nothing I
Hmm.
can do about it.
You
But
haven't had any strikes yet.
nope,
Ah, you're
never had a
fine.
strike yet.
You're fine. Okay.
Now that they introduced the strike system, I'm like, I can definitely just full send it. If I get a
Yeah.
strike, I'm going back to playing Sea Shanty 2 for the next 6 hours that I go
God. Oh
live.
my God. Why would you make your community pay for something that's not their fault? Why would you do that to them?
Exactly. What do you mean? It's
She
a
Shanty,
banger.
it works for like, I can listen to it maybe 5 times on a loop. The second that sixth time goes, you're like, all right, buddy, all right, yeah, call in Harris Heller. Let's bring in the big guns here. Let's play elevator music for the next 5 hours. It's so, oh my gosh. DMCA is a whole other thing I'm going to trash on later, but that is so, it's out of pocket there. I was actually
Yeah.
on your stream and I was hearing some bangers, and honestly, just having music, copyrighted music playing, it does hit different. Like, it stands out now because of how
100%.
bad the music is lately.
100%.
Yeah.
It's
But
funny because what is it? Twitch has their own like music, their music thing. I don't know what it's called, but like
yeah,
I've heard people literally get copyright strike for using that, and they made it just so that people can avoid copyright strikes. And I'm just like, what?
the perfect crime. It's the perfect crime, baby. That's it. That's how Twitch likes to
That's how they
operate.
get you.
That's how they get you. That's hilarious. I did not know that. I know they had the whole Monster Cat thing, that they had a partnership with Monster Cat, and you could buy affiliate now, which I feel, I feel
You
kind
can
of
buy
cheap.
affiliate.
You didn't know this? Yeah, you could buy it. It's like $5 or something. It's not that much.
What?
Is this news? Did I read some
Bro, this
lies?
is the news
I
to
feel
me.
like I feel like I might have been lied to, but I'm pretty sure you can buy affiliate now. I'm
There's
oh,
no shot.
it is, man. I'm not lying. I'm not lying.
Bro, I had to
they got
grind out for affiliate.
apparently they got rid of it, but there was very recently
They
you
got
could
oh
buy
no,
it.
no
And
shot.
I was just like, well, what was the point over here? Then again, the qualifications, the hardest is the 50, but we'll get to that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a whole other thing. Um, Let me ask this though. All right, we went from your style. We talked about what you've learned. I want to know about your community. I want to know about the homies that come through day in and day out and mess with not just your content, but you as a person. All right. So the question being this: if I asked your community switch who you are, and I had no prior idea who you were, what do you think they would say to me?
I I have
Why?
no clue. I'm not gonna lie. I People would say that I'm probably really friendly,
Yeah.
because I do want my like streams and my Discord and like any interaction that I have with like any of my viewers and friends to just be positive.
Hmm.
People would call me bad at Minecraft. People would call me down bad. Um,
Is that one false?
no.
All right, thank you. I gotta ask the hard questions, Switch. I gotta ask the
Listen,
hard questions. All right.
listen. I'm an open book. All right, I'm gonna be honest.
Hey, that's the magic word that whenever someone says that to me, I'm like, yo, Switch. That's the magic word. I'm an open book. That gives me full reins there. But all right. So we got down bad. We got bad at Minecraft. We got nice. Is
Um, Honestly, that's about it.
That's
Like they'd say, I vibe. That's it.
I like that
Because
though.
that's all I do.
Mhm.
All I do is just vibe.
It's interesting how something as simple and as that, where you're able to define it. I just vibe. I just hang out. I just set a mood there, an atmosphere, is actually huge because a lot of Twitch, it's high energy. There's a lot of stuff going on. There's people yelling. A lot of people subscribe to yelling equals comedy on Twitch. I've realized, and so to have somewhere where it's kind of like that low key, because there are times when I got you on the background and I'm just doing work because it's just soothing. It's soothing to hear you. All right, hey guys. So, forget about this run. Forget about this run. This run never happened. There's something that just it satisfies my soul being able to listen to that. So I like that a lot. Let's flip the question though. Switch. Let's literally switch the question. How would you describe your community to me? If I showed up, if I went in your stream, I was like, "Yo, Switch, tell me about these names, these faces here in the chat that are surrounding me currently. What would you say of them?"
They're some weird ass dudes. That's all I'm gonna say. They are cool as hell. They're amazing, but they're some weird ass dudes.
Where's the receipts? What do you mean the weird? What's weird mean, Switch? What's weird
Listen,
mean?
listen. I've had some people come into my chat and tell me that I don't even remember, dude. But there's been some people that come into my chat and tell me that Nick Wilde, the fox from Zootopia, they're
Yeah.
telling me that Nick Wilde is attractive. I'm like, dog, there's no way. There's no shot. They're in here telling me that Toothless, the dragon from How to Train Your Dragon,
Yeah.
is attractive, bro. I'm
What
like, there's no
what the
shot.
where is this? And they and with the same breath, they shitting on personas. Like, what is this?
Exactly.
What is this?
There's people asking me where my persona is. I'm like, dog, that's just not me. I'm just slow runner, bro. Oh,
Yeah, are you
God.
serious? So if I were to bring up Lola Bunny, you ain't talking. You
I'm
still
not talking. Nope.
That's a cap.
My-
I don't know. I don't know
Mm-mm.
about that one. I don't know about that
Nah.
one.
Listen,
Yeah. It's just not you. That ain't you.
it's not me. That ain't
How
me.
did you react when you first heard that the fox from Zootopia was on someone's hit list? Literally, they wanted to hit him up.
I was like, what the fuck, dude? There's no way.
Yeah.
Like, there's no shot.
But no. There's no shot.
Yo!
No, not me. That ain't me. That ain't me. That ain't me. I don't know. I don't subscribe to that either. I have not watched Zootopia, to be fair. So maybe I got to give it a look, and
It's a
then
good
we
movie.
make.
It
Is it
is
a good
actually
movie?
a good movie. Yeah.
I've heard it's S tier. A lot of people were praising it. I was like,
It is
damn.
a good movie. It's
Okay.
well done.
I'll give a peep. All right. I like that. Well, see right there, Switch. It's as easy as that. All right. That's the first segment of the show. We got into the intros and we talked about your Twitch life. but we're gonna mosey on over now. We're gonna mosey on over to your life story. That being said, do you need to go to the restroom at all? Do you need to get some food? Anything?
I think I'm good. I
You're
think I'm
good.
chilling.
All right, perfect. So I've trained my body to use the restroom around this time. So I'm gonna use the
All
restroom
right.
real quick. I know I said in the notes, don't look at the chat, yada yada. This is that time. They're all yours. I'll be back in 1 minute. All right.
All right. Sounds good.
Perfect.
All right. Listen. Listen here. Listen here. When I get my subathon, right? The subathon's gonna happen soon. We're gonna get the cat ears and everything. Okay. Just for you guys. That's it. That's it. Way too thick. Oh my god. But yeah. Yeah, Chloe's down terrible. Chloe and Lanny are down terrible for fucking cat ears, bro. Oh god. Listen, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I also need to dye my hair white, but like also I have jet black hair. Like that's gonna be tough. Yeah, Audrey's gotta hit me up on that one. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah. We'll see. At some point, it's gotta happen. For sure. I will fry your hair. Don't fry my hair, bro. That's nasty. I'm not even gonna lie. Yeah, that's probably true, Minty. You just gotta know how to take care of it. Bleaching it to white will fry it. Well, that'll dance for me, I guess. I'm probably gonna need like 3 rounds of bleach for my hair. Like it is gonna be rough. So it's ball dog. Scale from 1 to 10. I am a solid 8.5. We've been vibing.
What? I didn't even leave the room. Switch. And I hear your ass telling me you're buying the cat ears.
Listen.
You're buying and you're shitting on these people for liking Fantastic Mr. Fox or whatever fucking what did Fox say? What did you? What you got? What you got?
Listen, these guys are down horrendous for cat boys. Okay.
And you're feeding it. You're feeding into them. You're feeding into that. Yeah.
It's how it is sometimes, okay? It's how it is sometimes.
How many subs to lick your paws at that subathon, huh? Why don't you tell me that? Why don't you tell me this? Switch? Huh?
No shot, bro. Listen.
No shot? You're over here. You might as well get your money's worth, my man.
No.
What is it? Oh, you can't do this to me. I'm just wondering, Switch. I woke up funny today. I just thought you're getting the weirder end of me, but I literally stood up. I stood up, and then I just hear, all right, guys, listen. Like he's committing a crime. Listen here, guys. Listen here. We're going to get the cat ears, all right? For my next, we're getting the cat ears, and you never know what's going to happen. Just meow, meow. Oh, unreal, Switch. Unreal. You never know. You never know your guest until it happens, right? You never know your guest until you really sit down with them and you leave the room. I appreciate it. But all joshing, all trolling aside. We do a little bit of trolling here.
We do a little bit of trolling here.
There it is. That's why I like you. That's why I knew I mess with you. But all jokes aside, we're going into the main heart of the show here, which is the life story. All right. And I usually say this to my guests here in the moment, as well as those that are watching live or in the future on YouTube and Spotify. But, an individual that's willing to come and share their life story, even if it's to just one person, it's a gift, and it's really special. And I recognize that at an early age, and I want to honor and respect that. That being said, though, too, part of my job is to make sure that whatever you share is understood in the best light. And so I try my best to ask follow-up questions that may clarify or give us a more in-depth look at the initial answer. So I'm going to say this, Switch, all right? If there's any uh, question that may go too far or you just feel is more personal, feel free to stop me. Feel free to either give me a vague answer and we'll move on, or maybe you want to not answer at all. Either way works. It's literally all the control is to the guest, and that's how it's always been. And it's never let me down in 76 shows now. So I'm excited here. Um, that being said, let's start off with your family and you kind of growing up here. The first question being, in general, without doxing yourself, Switch. All right. Where were you born and raised?
I was born in Georgia. I've been here for 16 years of my life. I
Mm,
lived 2 years in India. Um, when in 2009, 2010, I lived there for 2 years. When my dad was like trying to find a new job, he's trying to switch out of the job that he had, and he was like 90% sure that he was going to get a job in India. So he sent me and my mom there like 2 years in advance just to,
yeah.
as he was winding down, as he was looking for a new job.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he just sent us over there. And I would say that those 2 years that I spent in India were probably the best 2 years of my life. Like
Really?
I had so much fun in those two
Mm-hmm.
years. Like it was really, really fun.
What was the fun?
Just, being able to be a kid and just do dumb shit all the
Mm-hmm.
time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because what is it? Here, like, obviously, I always have my parents on me. You know the Asian parent way.
Truth. Truth.
Um,
Thank you.
but it was definitely like uh, a nice like difference from that,
Mm-hmm.
you know, especially growing up with like other parents and like other things for my mom to do as well.
Yeah.
It was really nice because I just would go to school, I'd come back, have fun. I'd ask my mom for like 50 rupees. We'd go, me and a couple friends, we'd go down to the department store, like just
Mm-hmm.
outside of the apartment complex, and we'd spend 50 rupees on a bag of chips, a little bit of ice cream, and a soda.
Yeah.
Like that's like half a dollar here.
Yeah.
And thinking about that now, it's just like, man, I used to be able to do that all the time. And now it's just like whenever I meet up with my friends, we always gotta drive somewhere. It's always gotta be like really formal now because we don't all live in the same like neighborhood or community.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it was just a different lifestyle over there than it was here.
Definitely. If I may ask, what part of India? Was it northern?
South India.
South? Oh,
Yeah.
nice. I myself have been around the block over in India. I was in Bangalore and Faizabad, and that's what
Oh,
yeah, that's how those two. That's the only reason I asked. But that's cool. Well, you told us the years, but how old were you when you went to India?
I was 7 years old when I went, and I was 9 years old when I came back.
I see. And you said again you were born over in Georgia, correct?
Hmm.
Nice. Any siblings? Switch.
Nope, I'm an only
That's it.
child.
Okay.
No siblings, no pets.
Yeah, yeah. Let me ask this though. Something that you brought up. You mentioned you're like Asian parents, and the second you said that, it hit, like I flinched because I thought I almost was thinking, oh shoot, like I'm forgetting something. You brought up an old memory. I would love to know your take with this. All right, in terms of with Asian parents, especially I would say within our cultures, did you find any difficulty in terms of adjusting from at home life to outside of home life?
Um, Me personally,
Hmm.
kind of, but not really. Um, it was very difficult for me to, I guess, assimilate with other people because, like, obviously, you have like my friends would literally go out like camping with their parents, and my
Yeah.
parents were just like, "Why the hell would you want to stay in the woods for 3 days?"
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
Yeah.
you're never gonna see an Asian family go camping unless like they've lived here for over 20 years.
Yeah. Yeah. Or unless the Americans like encourage them to do it. Yeah.
Exactly,
I feel this
exactly.
exactly. Yeah. All, I don't want to say the white parents, but the white parents are the ones that encourage my parents to be like, hey, try out camping, and they're like, wait, what? Be homeless for a couple days? That's hilarious. So. With that kind of understood, your household, all right, your household, you being the only child as well as Asian family, what kind of household was it? Was it very strict? Did you feel very watched? How was it growing up in your household?
As a kid, before I got into like middle school,
Yeah.
I felt like I had a decent amount of freedom because I was always like the what is it? The model Asian kid, always
Mm,
getting straight A's,
yep.
not having to try that hard in school. And then middle school comes around, it's the same way. High school comes around, I start taking all these AP classes, all these honors classes,
Hmm.
and I start getting like my report cards go down to like C's, and then my parents are like, "What the hell is going on here, big dog?" And
Yeah.
I'm just like, listen, I don't know what's going on. This class is like kind of hard
Hmm.
and it's like kind of concerning. And then they're just like, all right, at that point in high school, I would say I had like my parents kind of turned into tiger parents
Wow.
for like those 4 years of high school because they knew how important it was, and I kind of didn't. Especially freshman year, like I took first semester of freshman year way too easy.
Yeah.
I had like only gotten A's or B's ever in my entire life. Freshman year of high school, I had like multiple C's, which
Hmm.
I managed to bring up to B's and A's. But like at that point, I was just like, wait, this is like, I'm like actually need to do work now.
Yeah. I need
That
a
is,
fight.
yeah, I need to actually take this seriously,
Hmm.
which, I, for me personally, like I never had to do that before, but
Yeah. Is it, I love that a lot of what you've said really hits home. First of all, let me get this out of the way. All right. First, from Asian to Asian, what you're spitting facts right now. Did you? I'm questioning. The question I want to ask is more so in that adjustment period of when suddenly, oh, things aren't coming easy educationally. Oh, and then also my parents are starting to see that. Do you ever wish that you had a looser leash? You had laxer parents in that regard, or is this a way in which you needed to be raised, in which you needed that guidance, that little crack of the whip to remind yourself, hey, you got to buckle down.
On one hand, I definitely wish that my parents were a little bit more lax, a little bit more like understanding at least,
Hmm.
because obviously they had grew up in India.
Yeah.
They haven't like gone through the U.S. education system at all. Um, with the exception of my dad, he got his MBA here.
Hmm.
So he understands like college and all that, but neither of my parents understood like how high school worked here,
Yeah.
how like college applications worked here and stuff like that. So it was just like it's a completely different system here to how it was in India. So they assumed that it'd be similar to how it was in India,
Hmm.
and so they would just like go in on me for pulling in bad grades and doing bad on tests and stuff like that, even when sometimes it didn't really matter as much.
Yeah.
Um, but I definitely wish that they were a little bit more lax, but at the same time, it's like I'm very grateful that, they taught me a lot of lessons through like what they did.
Yeah. Tell me more. Tell me about your relationship with your parents formally. Like, well, is it truly that full strict household, or do you feel like, is it a bad rap? There is that stereotype of
Yeah.
Asian parents being very difficult, and I think I don't want to share my opinion just yet. I want to hear yours. What is your take on all this?
I mean, they can be, but at the same time, it's like for me personally, it took some time for me to understand my parents
Mm,
and understand like, why they were doing half the things they were doing. Um, but at the same time, it's like I used to not be very open with my parents just because, uh, I used to value like their opinion of me much more than I probably should have.
yeah.
Enough to the point where like I wouldn't speak up on things that like bothered me. Um, Probably I don't know why I used to do this.
Hmm.
But like now I recognize that I do, and I feel like senior year of high school something just kind of clicked, and I was just like a whole different person. Like
Hmm.
if I looked at myself from like sophomore year to senior year, I was just like, this is not the same person.
What do you mean clicked?
I have no idea. I'm gonna be honest. Like I kind of just stopped caring of other people's like opinions of me,
Okay.
just in general.
Yeah.
Because like obviously it goes back to the whole like first impression thing.
Hmm.
Um, like I used to be very, very, very self conscious of people's first impressions of me and like how people saw me at any given point in time. But then I like as time went on, I was like I realized that some people will just exist to hate other people.
Yeah.
It's just how it is.
Hmm.
Um, And I definitely figured that out like my senior year. So I was like, you know what? Whatever, dude. I'm just gonna be me. If people like me, they like me. If they don't, they don't.
Oh, I like
And
that.
same thing goes for my parents. Like I will act this way toward anyone because I definitely get it from my dad because my dad is very outspoken. He will defend himself on, or he will defend anything that he believes is right until he has a reason to believe that it's not.
Hmm.
And he doesn't. It doesn't matter who it's with. Like
Hmm.
he could be. He We were talking about it the other day. Like I have a good relationship with both my parents now, and I'm very thankful for that. But we were talking about it the other day, and he told me that he was in a call with his boss, and they were arguing about something,
Hmm.
and he was just going in. Like he said, he does not care
Yeah.
um, about who he's talking to.
Hmm.
Um, if he believes that he's right, like he will stand up for himself. And I feel like I'm
Wow.
slowly but surely uh, like getting that from him as well.
No matter how much we say what we don't want to turn into our parents, there are definitely little, it may not completely, but there are little qualities in which we see like, ah, damn
Yeah,
it, like I'm becoming my dad.
yeah.
Or whenever I take off my hat, I look at my hairline, I'm like, damn it, I'm becoming my dad. Like that's crazy. That's insane. You said the way you pictured this, one of your sentences earlier, you said, I have a good relationship now, which is inferring that it's future or present tense. So are you
Mhm.
saying then past tense, in the past it wasn't as great as it was now?
I mean, it's definitely been rocky, obviously.
Mhm.
I think that's just how it is with most children and parents.
Mm.
Um, there was like a point in time, especially when I got into high school, where it was just like, you know, I would argue with my parents over literally everything because I didn't understand why they were telling me, no for certain things or why they were telling me to do certain things.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I just want to do me. Like, just let me be
Truth.
myself. And
Truth.
they were just like, you know what? At some point, obviously, like they understood that
Mhm.
and they feel confident enough to let me be like that. But definitely like earlier on, especially like my freshman, sophomore year of high school, like they wanted to teach me a lot of discipline. Now, the way they went about it, I don't exactly agree with.
Okay.
However, it did teach me a lot, and I'm very grateful that, I understood that and that I learned from it.
Yeah. Tell me this, where do you feel you were most misunderstood growing up, like in your teenage years, especially between you and your parents?
Definitely just how much I play video games and where it
Ah.
would take me. That was
Mhm.
like the main focus of discourse between me and my parents.
Wow.
Um, just because I would play video games, like video games have been a huge part of my life. Obviously, I started playing old school RuneScape back in 2009.
Mhm.
I got my Wii that same year. I think I started playing RuneScape in January. I got my Wii in May. Um, so
Mhm.
ever since then, I've just been a huge nerd. Like I've been into computers my whole life. I've been
Yeah,
playing video games. I've been I've built my own PC. I've helped a couple of my friends build theirs,
that's sick.
and
Yeah.
yeah, it's
How do they
just
f how do they feel about you streaming?
they used to be super against it because obviously it's just like, oh, you're wasting your time playing video games on the internet.
Mhm.
It's the classic Asian mentality.
Mhm.
Like it's just how it is.
That's a fact.
Um, which I don't disagree with them, but at the same time I do because obviously if I didn't disagree with them, I wouldn't be here.
Mhm.
But it's like now playing video games on the internet, you can turn it into a career. Like there's millions of people that are able to do it, like XQC, like members of the Dream SMP, um, like other massive content creators like Tyler One, Ludwig. Like they're all able to make it into a career and live comfortably off of it. And it's
Mhm.
just like, you're able to actually do this now. Like this is something that you were never like you couldn't even think about doing like even like 10, 15 years ago
Oh, yeah.
that
Unfathomable.
you can just like you can start it now.
Mhm. And I just wanna make sure that, everyone here understands too. Uh, your answer there, Switch, by no means do I think you're the type of streamer that's a money grabber. By no means. I know from what I've watched, I could tell you love, like you would do this if money wasn't an issue in this world, you would do this for free. Just per how much, not just how much you give to your community, but what you get back too. I could see the enjoyment and this piece of just like, oh yeah, we're vibing, we're hanging out. This is just a cool place for friends to come together. And if they just happen to shit on you for your speed runs, they just happen to shit on you for those speed runs. But
That's how it is.
Well, it's true. But what's tough is like with parents or people that don't understand this world of Twitch, they need numbers, they need figures in order to validate something. And while that's the harsh reality of the world outside here, in our hearts we know that we're doing something kind of sick. Like this is a lot of fun. I find a lot of fulfillment in what I'm doing. And sometimes, I could be a little bit pressured, but at the end of the day, it's one of those things where you could walk away and be like, "Yo, this is kind of like this is dope. This is like how many people am I impacting and being a part of their lives, and vice versa." You won't find that quite frankly anywhere else, and so I'm proud of
Yeah.
you for that adjustment there, and especially your parents being more okay with the idea of you spending as much time here and doing your thing on Twitch there. Let me ask you one more question for both of your parents here. All right, for both your ma and your dad, give me one lesson that each of those parents have taught you that to this very day you still keep very close to heart.
My dad has taught me, it is a stupid ass saying,
Yeah.
and I laughed at it at the time because I was a dumb kid. But now, like looking back at it, it has a much deeper meaning to it. My dad just on a whim, to me and one of my cousins said one day, "When you're out of the home, you're no longer in the home." And at the time, me and my cousins, we just laughed because we were like, "Yeah, no shit. Like if you're out of the house, you're not in the house."
Yeah,
But at the
yeah.
same time, like it has like obviously it has a much deeper meaning, where it's like when you're out of the home, like when you're not at home, you don't have like the protection of your parents, your siblings, of your loved ones
Wow.
to back you up whenever something goes wrong. Like it's all you once you leave your house.
Wow. Holy
Obviously, like
cow.
you'll have your friends, but most of the time, it's just you.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to learn to stand up for yourself. You need to learn to defend yourself, and you need to learn to be yourself. You can't just go out there and copy someone else like word for word, like
Mm-hmm.
bar for bar. Like you got to learn to be your own person
When did
and
that
stand on your own legs.
when did that hit though? When did that hit different for you? That saying.
It definitely hit different like last year, during like Rona,
Yeah.
because last year was a whole different story. Like I could probably talk about that for quite some time,
Yeah.
because there were a lot of things that happened last year.
Mm,
Obviously, with me starting streaming, but early last year, my grandma unexpectedly passed away,
I'm sorry. Yeah.
um, and so we went to India for a week, for the funeral and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
I came back after a week because I had class, and afterwards, my parents were gonna go back, or we're gonna come back in about a month or so. But
Mm-hmm.
then obviously the pandemic had hit at that point, and at that point they had realized, well, we're not gonna be able to come back in a month. They were hoping to come back by April, but they weren't able to find any flights for that. So I was here in the U.S. like by myself, for pretty much like half a year.
Holy cow. And
So
any family to outside your immediate parents, or was it
I
just all?
had I had I had family friends and my neighbors who are very very like helpful. They were super helpful, especially in the beginning part because like I didn't know how to cook, I didn't know how to do anything, and I was
Yeah.
just like, "Yo, I now have to manage like this big ass house." Like I'm just like I don't know what to do here,
Yeah. And
and it was just like definitely like that first month. I was just like I would go pretty much every single day. I get fast food, and it was definitely like hard for me to, at least like manage money. Like I never knew how much
mm,
I was actually spending until like that week. I was a week where I went out and I spent, or there was a day that I went out and I spent like $100 on fast food, and I was just like, damn, my parents spent this much on groceries, and that feeds us for the whole month,
yeah.
and I spent that all in a day. Like
Jesus.
that's
Yeah.
that's when I realized that I was like, I need to learn how to do shit so that I can be like I can stand on my own legs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, yo,
Yeah.
I can't unless I'm making this much, like I can't, this is very unsustainable.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
So that's insane. Like it's such a the analogy I think is like jumping into a cold pool. Usually the transition's somewhat smoother, but for this, a pandemic, literally kind of those outside of anyone's control, to be placed in the situation you were is so difficult. Again, half a year, 6 months when you were alone. What was the day to day like? What did you learn about yourself outside of, oh, I need to learn how to cook? Like that fascinates me.
I learned a good bit about myself because I spent a lot of time just thinking,
Yeah.
especially because class was boring. I didn't go to class half the time.
Oh man.
Even to this day, dude, I can
Yeah.
be completely honest with you. I had
Shoot.
I had a lecture yesterday. I slept straight through it.
Come on, switch. Come on. Don't put this on the record. I don't want to get in
No,
trouble
no,
from
no, no.
you.
Listen, 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 listen. The only
Shoot, shoot,
reason
shoot.
I do that
Yeah.
is because I've already taken the class.
Okay. Okay.
If I've
Yeah.
never taken
All
the
right.
class before, my ass is in every single lecture,
Hey, that's good.
100% of the time.
All right. All right. Fair play. Fair play.
So if you've taken the class and you know exactly what's gonna happen,
Mm-hmm.
then you're chilling.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have an A in this class, I'm fine.
Okay.
Attendance isn't mandatory, so I'm chilling. I was like, I already know this class, and I'm just like, we're vibing.
Mm-hmm.
But
Pop off,
it's
King. Pop off. All right. I see you. I see you.
if I hadn't taken this class before, I'd definitely be much more like
Mm-hmm.
I take it a lot more seriously.
Mm.
Um, but I was just like, I guess I figured out like a lot about myself, just like who I was as a person, like what I wanted to try and do, um, and
Yeah.
just like what I was comfortable with. Because like I would go out, I would try to do different things. Because when your parents aren't there to try and stop you or to try and like protect you from anything, you can just go out there and you can fall and you can get back up.
Mm-hmm.
It's no longer just like how do you prevent yourself from falling, but it's how well can you recover from a fall.
I love that. Wow. Holy cow. You're dropping dimes tonight, Switch. That's beautiful. No, honestly, like it's fascinating to see where other people were at the exact same time. I'm thinking about where we were a year ago, when the pandemic
Hmm.
really started. So to hear that you've had to make this is a huge adjustment in your life. And literally survival. Of course, you have family, friends, but still, like, to be as young as you are and to have to adjust so rapidly it's impressive. Honestly, it's very
Yeah.
impressive to hear this. So, how did you, like, in terms of passing the time and interaction? I assume you're still seeing people, right? You weren't just, this was in solitary confinement.
Oh no, like it was really bad. It was really bad.
Oh,
Like there were times where I would go like 3 weeks without seeing anyone, like in person at least. Like I would
wow.
talk to my friends. Like I made a bunch of friends online,
Hmm.
but in person I would barely leave my house. Especially when I learned how to cook, I'd go out like once every 3 weeks for groceries.
Yeah.
Because like I did not want to get corona at all,
True.
and I was
Yeah.
just like, I don't have to go to class. I didn't really have anything else to do, so like I would drive. Yeah, like I drove a ton,
Mm.
and I think I found like a newfound comfort in driving, especially with gas prices being as low as they were. I put
True.
well over 3,000 miles on my car in 6 months,
Sheesh. Damn.
and I didn't even have to go anywhere. I would literally just drive downtown just because I could.
Yeah, you were just driving. It's
Yeah.
something to do, something to clear your head, something, a change of scenery, if you may. What I guess what I was gonna ask is, like, what kept you sane outside of that when you are staying at home? What kept you sane?
Um, Talking to people online and just like getting to know more people because I got to know a lot of different kinds of people online. I got to get involved in a bunch of different communities.
Mm.
I got involved a lot more with music last year.
Oh, nice.
Um, and then obviously, like, I got into a bunch of different communities. I used to play Smash pretty much all of last year
Yeah.
up until August. So I was really involved with the Smash community. So I made a bunch of friends there. Um, Other than that, it's just finding really good people to talk to, getting involved in different like online communities, and just keeping yourself engaged so that your thoughts don't wander and you're just like, man, what am I doing here?
Yeah.
Wasting my time for like 8 hours a day doing absolutely nothing. You know?
Definitely. Definitely. No, again, speaking facts. That's the truth. Uh, we answered the question, to return to your parents. We answered the question about what your dad's taught you with that quote. How about your mom?
My mom has definitely taught me to be compassionate toward other people because
Wow.
growing up, my dad has always been like, if it ain't business, I don't want to talk. He's very like
Ah,
cut and dry.
yeah.
But my mom has always been like a lot more compassionate, especially towards like other people, and has been a lot more understanding.
Yeah.
Um, I feel like a lot of older people now, it's just like, if one little thing goes wrong for them, like they see it as like a opportunity, or not like an opportunity, but like they see it as something to be upset about, because they value their time, because for them time is money, which
True.
like I completely agree with. However, like at the same time, you got to understand that everyone's human. We all make mistakes at some point in time, and so you got to be empathetic towards the people that do make mistakes. You got to be empathetic towards like when it happens, and you
Mm,
gotta accept that it does happen. It's okay.
yeah.
um, there's no reason for you to be upset just because a little bit of your time is being wasted, because yeah,
Mm,
we only have like a little bit of like time on this planet, but you know if you're upset about everything all the time, that's just not worth it.
yeah. Yeah. Oh, if I may ask, I know this will kind of put you on the spot in terms of this question, but when was the last time you were able to apply your Moss compassion, whether it be here on Twitch, online, or offline?
I probably do that every single day. Every
Really?
day I do my best to just be positive.
Mm-hmm.
Just be like, someone might be having a bad day, they might come to me, or they might literally just say, "Yeah, my day's been all right." And I'm just like, "What's going on?" Like I want to be able to try and help people. Like that's what I want to do streaming on Twitch. I just want to make people happy. I've been wanting to do that pretty much all my life, and Twitch has given me a platform to do that. uh,
Mm,
you know, at least at the very least, give people a place to like relax and unwind at the end of their day. But at best, I can make people's days a lot better. I can make people's days amazing, and I can make them like a lot happier than they were coming into the stream.
yeah. I like that.
So
I like that. Let's move on from your family to now the least sexy of topics. Let's talk a little bit about education. All right. I go straight into high school for this one. I go straight into the cut, and we go right into the fact that with high school there are stereotypes of social groups. We got the popular kids, the jocks, the dorks, the
mhm.
nerds, the emos, the outcasts, whatever it may be across the board. In that spectrum of stereotypes, social stereotypes, where do you feel like you fell in? Swish.
Well, freshman year, I was definitely like the outcast.
Hmm.
Freshman year was rough. I'm just gonna be honest. First semester freshman year, I was like all my friends. So going from middle school to high school, I know you said you wanted to keep it strictly high
Oh
school,
no,
but
go ahead. No, go
going from
ahead.
middle school to high school,
Yeah.
there was this program called Magnet, and some people in chat might know like the program called IB. So there were two different schools that you could apply for in middle school to get into those programs. I applied for both of them, didn't get in, unfortunately.
Hmm.
Um, so I watched all my friends from middle school get into either the magnet program or the IB program, and I'm just like, man, that sucks because now I get to start over again.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, it's just how it is. When you start over, it's just like at that point, I guess I was kind of used to it, but at the same time, I didn't really care. Um, like freshman year of high school, I was just like, if these people are cool, like I'll hang out with them, but if
Mm-hmm.
not, I'm out of there.
For those not familiar with this program, why was there a lot of weight in trying to get into these IB programs?
It's mostly just like, obviously my parents being Asian parents, they just wanted me to be the best. And
Yeah.
so in their eyes, a better education came from Magnet and IB and programs like that.
Ah, okay.
And, I don't know if that's actually true or not because obviously I've never taken like IB or Magnet.
Mm-hmm.
But it's definitely much more vigorous and it's kind of what they expected of me. So I was just kind of like, it is what it is. But yeah.
No, awesome. So you said then, how did that affect your first year? You said your first year was very rough.
I went into high school with basically zero friends.
Mm.
Because all my friends went to different schools. Like, yeah, we hung out, but their workload was a lot different from mine, and their schedules were a lot different from mine as well. So we kind of grew apart. We kind of grew distant as it came, like, as time passed.
Yeah.
I remember my freshman year of high school, like the first, or at least like the first couple of weeks. Um, I didn't really fit in anywhere because obviously everyone had already had their like little groups, their little cliques, and there was just like nowhere for me to be. So I would
Mm.
either, I'd most of the time I'd eat my lunch outside, I'd eat my lunch in the library. If both of those places were full, I would literally eat my lunch in the bathroom stall. Like it was pretty bad. But
Yeah.
like I also never like took time to like try and assimilate with these people because like the one group that I did try to assimilate with, they were very negative, and they were very very not like the type of person that I would want to be now. Um, like I realized that very quickly that these were
Mm.
not the people that I wanted to associate with.
Yeah.
Um, just through like the language that they language that they used, the way that they spoke, the way that they acted, it was just like not really what I wanted to be affiliated with, or what I wanted to associate myself with. um
So
but
how did
yeah,
it then? How did this pattern break? How did this pattern of
it
outcast or maybe shy person? I don't want to put complete outcast because I think there is a big part of you being shy, and then it goes both ways. But where
yeah.
did this all turn for you?
It all started when, what is it? One day I found out that the table that I normally sat at was completely full, and so I was
Yeah.
gonna go check outside. And I was leaving the lunchroom, and one of my classmates, um, who I was talking to like in class, I didn't know we shared the same lunch period, but I've been talking to him like in class, and he was a pretty cool dude.
Mm-hmm.
He saw me leave the lunchroom, and he like ran up to me. He was like, "Yo, you want to sit at our table?" And I was just
Oh.
like, "Yeah, say less." And that is where I met. I met my buddy DeVryan at that lunch table freshman year. And
DeVry was that? That was the
yep,
Bomey.
yep,
Did he ever tell you why he reached out to you?
nope.
I would love to know
It was
that.
literally just. It was literally just. There was a free seat,
Yeah.
and he thought. I'm assuming he was like, "Oh, this guy might be kind of cool," and
Yeah.
so he just asked me to sit down.
That's interesting. Okay.
So that's
So
it.
tell me, how was that first? It's you got to be nervous. It's a whole
It
new
was, it was
cast.
definitely nerve wracking. I
Hell
was
yeah.
like, "Yo, I don't know what's going on. Like these people are like." I've never talked to half of these people. I only know
Yeah.
one person at this table, and I'm just like, I don't know what's going on.
Uh-huh.
And everyone was super friendly. Everyone was super like interactive, very enjoyable to be around,
Yeah.
and very engaging. Just like they always asked me questions. They never really like left me feel like I
Mm,
was excluded at all, and
mm.
it was really nice.
That's
I
good
definitely
company.
enjoyed it. Ever
That's
since then, I sat at that table at least for the rest of the year,
yeah.
and ever since then, like DeVry's been a homie. Like I've been very grateful to be a part of his friend group with a lot of my other IRLs.
Hmm.
One of them that got me into streaming, the friend that I said that got me into streaming, was also part of that friend group, but I
Mm.
wasn't particularly close with him at the time. But I started having classes with him a lot more, uh, and yeah.
I love that. That's so cool. And I really love the fact that the social awareness to be like, all right, we're gonna put all the attention on the new guy, and we're not attention in a positive manner. They want to know about you, so they're gonna ask questions. And then that relationship just blossoming into what it is today, like to know that you're still homies with that person, as well as to know the lore of the fact that they brought you here. They encouraged you to be on this platform, and now seeing how you've affected many others. That's so cool to just see the trajectory of your journey so far. So in high school, right? So you found your crew. You're starting to see your own identity there. I got to ask you the layup questions, of course. And did you
Mhm.
do any co-curricular activities in high school?
Um, for most of high school, no, not really.
Mm-hmm.
I was in a couple clubs. I was in a National Honor Society for a couple of years.
Yep.
But sophomore year of high school, I started running cross country because I used to play club soccer and I used to play baseball in middle school. I
Mm-hmm.
played baseball in middle school up until I injured my elbow, and I'm fine now, and I could probably play now again if I really wanted to in college.
Nice.
But I didn't want to play in high school after that, so
Yeah.
I
Okay.
also played club soccer until I messed up my knee. I played club soccer for quite some time. I've been playing since 2007.
Mhm.
So I've been playing since I was a youngin,
This
but
man's a
it's
Chad.
been
This man's a Chad. What are you talking about, outcast? You're the guy that, people are not going to pick you first, and then they see you and like, oh shit, I should have picked
no,
Switch
yeah,
over here. He's
that's
kicking our ass.
exactly how it is.
I see,
It's
I
literally
knew it.
exactly how it was.
I knew it.
I remember in elementary school, we would
Yeah.
play. I think the one thing that I like lacked on was basketball because like
Yeah.
I had no upper arm strength. I looked like Chicken Little out here. Like it was bad. It was bad.
Yeah, but like clearly you're cognitive enough to have the wherewithal, athletically to know where to put yourself, slash the speed and all that. Don't mind the body frame, all right? The Chicken Little look works, especially with the sports you're saying. So I like that though. That's hilarious. Of course, underestimated, dude. Underestimated.
But yeah,
Uh how about from let me take you to your final week over in high school, right? So we've gone through the ringer. You've been there for almost 4 years now, and you're kings of the campus. It's your senior year, all right? It's your senior year, and you're applying to get your cap and gown. You're trying to figure it all out, finish off your finals, and get out of there. What what was the next step for you? Was it always, was it a 4 year? Was it community college? Was it work? Was it traveling? What was going through Switch's head at the time as we were planning out the near future?
it's definitely a 4-year college. Like my parents expected it of me. They were like, it was just ingrained into my head that I was going to go to college. Like
Mm-hmm.
there was no doubt about it. Um, but at the same time, I was like, I want to do something, I want to do something unique. Like I want to do something that I enjoy because I know like I watched a lot of my friends go into work and stuff like that
Yeah.
um, in high school and just like they were all just like, I hate it here. I never heard anyone talk anything positive about work. And I was just like,
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. Like I don't want to be stuck at a day job.
Mm-hmm.
Just because, I don't want to do something that I don't enjoy. Like if there's anything that I could prevent from happening, I would prevent myself from being stuck in something that I don't enjoy doing.
S-
So
so then with that mindset, what did you end up doing in college to prepare you to kind of not fall into that trajectory of hating your day job?
I've started like, finding things to enjoy in my career field. Like
Okay.
obviously with me being a CS major, like I code Minecraft plugins, like I code Minecraft mods, because it's all Java.
Mm.
So you
Okay.
can use that expertise to, help yourself do what you really want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I have asked a couple friends about, like making our own video games and stuff like that as well.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been enjoyable
Yeah.
for the most part. Like learning about computer science, for learning about like the way that hardware interacts with software and things like that. It's been super enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously with me being like a huge computer nerd, I knew that I was going to go into CS. I actually thought that I was going to go into biomed for a couple of years. And then I was like, well, why the hell would I do that? I've been working around computers like all my life.
Yeah. You might
So I
as
was
well get
like,
into
might
it.
as well. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Tell me this, all right? Tell me this, all right? All right, all right. I'm gonna ask. This is a little bit of an out of pocket question, all right? Did you choose the major you're studying right now to appease the family, but in the back of your head, you always knew you could parlay it into video games?
No, actually.
Oh, okay.
My mom was not very excited when I said that I was going to get a bachelor's of science in computer science
Really?
because my parents grew up with, engineering being the top or being
Mm,
a doctor. I already told them that I wasn't going to be a doctor, so they just assumed that I was going to be an engineer. However, I was just like, I want to be like a CS major. I've been around PCs my entire life. I've
mm-hmm,
been, literally just doing my own thing or with computers. I've been playing video games my whole life. Like I'm extremely into computers. Um, yeah. Like I always make jokes around my mom that like, oh, I'm a software engineer,
mm-hmm.
but then she gets like mad because
That makes
because
100%. They're like, don't you ever? What are
yep.
you talking about? software engineer is this. I like that though. And what year are you in? I'm sorry, I never asked.
I'm going into my third year.
Dang, nice. That's awesome. Do you have an idea of where you'd like to take this outside of uni?
At the moment, no, not a
Hmm.
clue. I've been super interested in artificial intelligence and like machine learning and stuff like that. So if anything, if the streaming thing doesn't work out, I might go in and make like help develop artificial intelligence and stuff like that.
Damn, damn, damn.
Like it'd be hype.
Time is moving fast. Honestly, I did not. I thought you were gonna definitely tell me like second year, like starting second year. You're already
Oh
telling
no,
me.
I'm very very young for where I am. Like
Sheesh.
I graduated at 16 because I skipped a grade when I lived in India. Uh, I skipped second grade when I lived in India because what is it? I went into second grade and I was just like, bro, this is so easy. Like they literally
Hmm.
taught us like basic multiplication, and I already gone through that. So I was like, I don't want to be stuck in this for another year. So was like, all right, put me up a grade. And my dad was like, you sure? And I was like, yep, put me up a grade. And so
Hmm.
we went and talked to the school. In India, they were like, all right, you can take this test if you do well, because they had entrance exams for pretty much every single grade there.
Mm.
Um, India is very, very like standardized, so they have like a ton of tests for literally everything. Um, they have like a version of the SATs called the board exams, which you take in 10th
Ah,
grade.
yes.
That basically determine like where you go to college,
Holy cow.
and what you can do with that.
Yeah.
So literally all the pressure goes from, here it's like junior, senior year, but in India you get one shot at it. Here you can at least take the SAT, ACT like multiple
Yeah.
times.
You could
But
pay
there
off
you get,
people. It's just
yeah,
damn, damn.
but yeah,
This is wild. Honestly, this is insane to know that again, how quick you're moving through all of this. In terms of education and where you're going with what you want to do. For your first year in college though, real quick, did you did you commute to your
hmm
university? Are you
yeah,
I see. What was the
yeah.
biggest change between high school and college for you?
Um, for me, there was no change. Like the only change is that I was driving. Like it felt the same.
Hmm.
Um, I got very unlucky in the college admission process. I would like to say,
Hmm.
just because in high school I was pretty smart. Like I was able to be competitive, but we just had an extremely competitive like grade. Like everyone was just incredibly smart, and so I ended up going 1 for 9 in college admissions,
Yeah, okay.
which it happens. It's rough.
It does.
But I was like, that's okay. I'll be able to transfer to a better university once I take a couple years here. And it ended up being really good, like really good for me as well, because like, I literally got paid to go to college here,
Hmm.
um, through like me having all my scholarships and stuff like that here as well. And it ended up being like a really good financial decision for me. So I didn't have to worry about spending that much money to go to like college, and I can still end up with a degree from a much better university.
Yeah. Okay. I'm geeking, man. I'm impressed. I'm impressed by your brain, honestly. From the moment we've started talking about almost 2 hours ago to now, you've held your own, and the way you process information, especially I've never once heard you like if someone were to tell me 1 for 8, they're gonna sulk a little bit. They're gonna oh, it's 1 for 8, but to not allow that to define you and spin the positive into this, because you're right on. I used to work in admissions, and I would say the same thing to those that were declining. They would call in, where it's like, don't see this as an end all be all. Like you can always transfer in. It's actually gonna be cheaper in the long run. You didn't hear this from me, but the school system here in the States is pretty corrupt. All right, you didn't hear that from me. If I go missing, it was the university that did this. It was the board of the university that took me out. But it's just a fact. It's a corrupt business. All right, it's not right the way, and I don't like the way they value students. But hey, you didn't hear from me. Um,
Yep.
but I love that. I love that. So it sounds like with what you're studying right now, you said CS do you feel like this is the end all be all? This is where you want to be, and you find the
Yeah.
most fulfillment? That's awesome.
100%.
That's awesome. What advice would you give for people, especially, we have a younger crowd on Twitch in general. And for those of them that are maybe juniors and seniors in high school that are eyeing going to college or that next step in education, what advice would you give to them when searching for a major or what to specialize in?
If if you don't know what you want to do, that is perfectly okay. I think that's like the biggest thing, especially in college. Like people say, "Oh, you need to know exactly what you need to do like before you go into college," but it's like that's just not true. Like
Mhm.
if you don't know what you want to do, you can take some time, either take a gap year or take a year to just
Mm,
figure out, take different classes and just figure out, what you want to do and what you want to like what you might be interested in, and do things like outside of college as well,
mhm,
just to
mhm.
find out like what makes you happy.
It,
Because if it doesn't make you happy, there's no point in doing it.
again, are you a million years old? Because you're correct. Like this is it's spot on. Like too many people, and I've realized this more and more. Too many people are scared to say the phrase "I don't know." You know, we're programmed in this world to always have answers, to always have a reaction, to always have something to say, to counter or to react or whatever. But when it comes to that decision, like you said, for college, to just say, hey, I actually don't know what I want to do, and taking that gap year. Again, there's a negative connotation, especially I'm guessing, with Asian parents. If you ever told your parents, I'm taking a gap year, yeah, right, yeah, fucking right, all right, you're about to get slapped in the damn face. If you say you're taking a damn gap year, switch, because that happened to the
Yeah.
same thing with me. There's no such thing as a gap year. The only gap would occur in my tooth because it would be punched down in my face if my if my parents heard me say gap year. But just because someone says the word gap year doesn't mean they can't work on something, or try something new. As long as
Yeah.
you're progressively, always being a student in life, not just in the classroom, but wanting to learn a new skill, and apply yourself there. I think there's so much to be gained there in the world, especially in trades too. I think it's slept on. But again, if they take me out, guys, it was the college board. All right, it was the Stanford SATs that took me out, and the PSAT practice courses. That's who took me out. But I love that. I love that. Let's move on here to the third segment of life stories, and it's about work, jobs. I do this segment very clear cut and dry. In total, all right, not counting any, weekend gigs or whatever. I'm asking jobs that you would put on your current resume. All right, if you were applying for a job, how many jobs have you had to date?
Zero.
Okay, okay. I like. Tell me the thought process of that, because I think you're the first one ever. All right, and I like that, and it's not a hot take. Honestly, it's not a hot take, but I would love to hear your thought process. As have you ever thought about getting a job during high school or college, or is this something that you were purely it could either be discouraged or just wasn't you, and you have stuff you need to do in terms of education and the level in which you've been studying.
My parents have definitely been pushing me to get a job, like
Okay, buddy.
100%.
Okay, buddy.
Through high school and college, my parents were like, "Why haven't you got a job yet?" And I'm like, "Listen,
Yeah.
listen.
Yeah, what you say? What you say?
I don't know, bro. Like, I applied to a bunch of different places. I actually did apply.
To
I
where?
applied to a bunch of different places. I applied to Target, applied to Best Buy, I applied to Chick-fil-A. All of them said no. And then at that point, I was like, you know what? I looked at a bunch of my friends that were in jobs, like that were in day jobs, just
Mhm.
working at retail or even in like an office setting as an intern for their parents or like their family friends or something like that. And I was just like, they were just not enjoying it half the time. And I was just like, why would I want to put myself through that?
Mhm.
Obviously, I can't just go out and say this to my parents
Yep.
because I get my ass handed to me on a silver platter. Like,
Yeah.
I talked about it with my mom. Like, I hinted at it. I was just like, I don't want to be stuck in the day job, but like, at some point, it will happen. I'll admit that. At some point, it will happen. I will have to get an actual job
Mm.
because at some point in time, no matter what you do on the internet, you will fall off, and it's just inevitable. But at that point in time, I think I want to be comfortable enough to where I still, can do my own thing and be happy rather than, gruel for days and days like slaving over a desk job.
See, this is where we might have to disagree, though, Switch. You really believe that on the internet, in terms of content creation, you'll fall off, and it becomes no longer either profitable or sustainable.
Not that it'll become no longer profitable, but you'll become irrelevant.
Wow. Okay.
Because there have been people, well, I'll bring up like slightly controversial content creators like,
Go
Leafy
ahead.
is here, obviously,
Sure.
Pyrocynical,
Yeah.
but also people like what is it? People like Ninja, who, while he's still able to make a living off of Twitch and while he's still able to be very successful on this platform, is nowhere near as successful as he used to be.
But to be
And at
fair,
some
Ninja
point
could
in time,
retire.
yeah, he can retire.
He could retire right
But
now.
like at some point in time,
Hmm.
if he really wanted to retire, he could,
Yeah.
because obviously the honeymoon phase of Ninja being Ninja is over. Like
Oh,
the people go into his chat just to shit on him all the time,
correct.
and
It's
like it's
Tyler.
definitely just like, yeah.
Yeah. It's no longer Ninja. It's
It's no
Tyler.
longer Ninja. It's Tyler Blevins.
He's a grown ass adult with blue hair. Like and this is not me shitting on, because I respect what Ninja's done in terms of gaming. He's a game changer in terms of this culture. He put Twitch on the
100%.
map, in my opinion. That being
100%.
said, his payout from Mixer could literally he doesn't have to do this ever.
He doesn't have to do this ever. He
No.
could retire right now and
Mhm.
just live off the money he has for the rest of
Mhm.
his life.
Mm-hmm.
Like he is done.
See, and that's what I'm trying to. I guess what I'm trying to get from this conversation, though, Switch, is like, yeah, I don't know if relevance. I agree with you on that. You can't stay hot forever, but I think there is a way in which you can make content creation be a living, and
100%.
and that's where I like, especially with how your brain works, and of course, I'm not saying put all your eggs in one basket, do your thing. But like from what I've seen on Twitch and to where it can also go, I don't think you've even hit you've scratched the surface of your own potential. To be very frank with you, Switch. I'm not even, again. I'm not even trying to gas you up. I'm just telling you the truth. Like there's a lot more.
I do appreciate it.
No, like I see this in certain creators, and that's why it kind of hurts, because it's like, you inevitably you see that tweet longer that says I'm taking a break or I'm leaving, and in the back of my mind I look at it and I'm like, man, motherfucker's really good. I wonder what's going on in their brain that's causing this to happen, which of course there's a lot of external factors. But I want to encourage you and empower you, man. You kill it. You kill it time and time again. And even though you may say it's just a vibe and you're hanging out, there's still that effort. There's still that showing up and trying to put yourself out there that is commendable, and it's something that many people throw in the towel for. So all power to you. Okay. Did you ever, with all these jobs that you've applied, did you ever not hit up one of them and be like, why not me? Like, why did I not get this job? Why didn't we consider Switch?
Honestly, like I kind of did this like after I applied to college, because I was like, I'll be free for a summer.
Yeah.
Like I'm not going to do anything this summer. So I was like, I applied to jobs, at least hoping to get like a little summer gig.
Okay.
But after like I got like all my college rejections, I was just like, you know what? I don't care. Like they didn't want me for some reason. Doesn't matter to me. We take the L and move on.
Fair. Did none of them even? Did you interview for any, or was it just?
I interviewed for 2 of them.
Which ones, if I may ask?
I interviewed for Target and Chick-fil-A.
Okay.
Best Buy was like, we're not taking seasonal employees at the moment. So I was like, all right, whatever, that's fine. That's completely understandable. But Target and Chick-fil-A both interviewed me, and they said that you'd be like a really good candidate. But with the hours that I was working, especially with me being a student, they had like already, had a bunch of students working. And so they were like, maybe next semester when your schedule changes, you'll be able to reapply. And at that point I was just like, man, I don't want to go through that for doing that again. Like, I was just being lazy at that point. Oh God.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm over here. I was trying to get to the bottom of this, and then all I find out is, Switch is just a little bit lazy today. My ass was ready to role play an interview with you right here, right now. All right, because I used to do this. This used to be one of my jobs in college, was role playing interviews, and I wanted to know. I would. Okay, may I? Can I? Can you feed into this a little bit? Feed into my weird role playing fantasy. All right, we already played into your persona cat thing before. All right, we played into you getting. By the way, if you didn't hear that earlier, he will for sure be getting cat ears for his subathon. All right, you didn't. You heard it here first. We're getting a lot of hot new takes here. But let me ask you this, all right? If I'm an interviewer, all right? Let's pretend that I'm some crazy interviewer, and I would ask you, what's your biggest strengths and weaknesses? How would you answer that?
This would definitely be a lot different now than it would have been when I first answered these.
Okay.
But my biggest strength now would probably be um, the way that I'm able to at least approach people, because I feel like I'm much more confident at approaching people now than I was like even a couple of years ago. Just
Yeah.
because I feel, you know, you're not going to get everyone, but you can at least get the most people that you can interested in what you're saying.
Mm.
It's just wording. It's just the way that you word things is entirely the key.
Yeah.
You could have like the best idea in the planet, but if you word it like super boring and you make it like uninteresting to listen to, it doesn't matter.
Mm.
But like there are people that can literally sell you pens, and it's just like if you go up to someone and you're just like, "Sell me this pen." Like there are some people that can do it really, really well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all about how you go up and how make people want the product that you're selling.
How about weakness wise?
Weaknesses, definitely my stubbornness to accept help. That is one of my biggest flaws. Uh,
Okay.
just as a kid, because I've always been super independent my entire life, and
Yeah.
I feel like I get this a lot from my grandpa, especially seeing him go through like what he's gone through.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I even like my sophomore year of high school, I've been like when I was probably like the worst I've done academically, I still refused to ask for help because I was like, I
Wow.
can do this myself.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, that was the year that I realized I can't. There's
Mm-hmm.
just some things that I can't do by myself. Like it's okay to ask for help, but at the same time, it's like I still do struggle with that quite a bit. Like I sometimes I bite off more than I can chew, and I'm just like, man, maybe I shouldn't have done that.
Mm-hmm. No.
So
Damn it. He's good. He's good, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Hey, mods, if there are any mods here, all right, I want you to run a poll whether he got the job or not. All right. We'll have everyone vote on that. Go ahead and run a poll to see if he got the job. But I love that. I love that a bunch. That is actually really those are some bomb ass dank ass answers. I appreciate that. Um oh my gosh, the asking for help. It's too true. It's too real. It's too real.
yeah,
That's
it's
spot
how it
on.
is.
Yeah. Do you feel like it's a pride thing, an ego thing, or is it like more of just like you don't want to bother someone else
It's
to
it's literally
to
just I
teach you?
don't want to bother other people because
Mm-hmm.
like I don't want to feel like if I can't provide something to them, like I don't want to uh like take something from them or even like
Yeah.
their time because time is
Yeah.
valuable.
Very.
Time is very, very valuable.
Mm-hmm. No. Oh, perfect. I appreciate that. No, I appreciate you sharing all that. Let's move on here then to the last segment of life stories, and it's about romantic relationships. All right. I do the same thing in terms of how we handle this segment to work, where I ask in total first before we get into any details or any of that jazz. In total, how many individuals had the official switch significant other tag?
One.
Oh boy! All right, let's
Yep.
buckle in. Let's buckle in. Does your community know about this?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair play. All right. How? Okay, the first thing I saw was we hate her. I'm sorry. We're in for a good ass story then. That's what I'm hearing. Um, how old were you and how'd you guys meet?
This was, I think, summer 2019. I had just graduated,
Okay.
and I was at one of my good friends' graduation parties. My This friend I've known since fifth grade, and we both were the new kids on the block, and that's how we got to know each other.
Mm,
We were just like, we both literally knew no one else. And we were just like, you know what, you're cool. So then we just became friends, and then that was it. I went to her graduation party, and I met this cute girl. We played cornhole. She absolutely beat my ass at that game. I don't know how people do it.
Yep.
It's literally just hand-eye coordination, but apparently I'm not good at that. Um, but yeah, then after that, I was just like, I followed her on Instagram, and I was just like, "Hey, you're pretty cool. Would you like to hang out and grab like a coffee or something?" And that's just how it
Okay.
started.
Okay, Swish. Okay, so taking to the coffee move? This man is I swear you were born in the wrong decade. You hit her with the coffee date? Holy shit. And how old were you again?
I was 16 turning 17.
16, 17 getting coffee. There is no 16, 17-year-old I know in their right damn mind is going to a coffee shop. That's a fact. All right? That's a fact, Swish. So, okay, let me get this correct before we move on to the story. So you're spitting your game. Hey, we're playing this cornhole. Oh, I'm kind of trash about it. Hey, it's whatever. You were playing against her. You weren't even teammates. It was a 1v1.
Oh, nah.
All right.
It was a 1v1.
So you're doing this thing, and I gotta ask, all right, what is the Switch game here, all right? When you were at this graduation party, what was the lines that were hitting? What kind of questions were you asking, and what kind of energy?
It was literally no questions. I just got my ass handed to me, and I was just like, I don't know how the hell you're so good at this game, and that was it. Like I literally just asked like where they were going to college, and that was it. Like it was just the basic like questions that you would ask like anyone that you've met for the first time.
You play no games. You go straight down to business, and then you hit her in the DMs. You hit her with that DM. That was the only thing that you scored that night. You didn't score any cornhole points, but you scored the DM. You got the number, all that jazz. So let's go into that coffee date, that first date you had with this person. Tell me about it. How was it? How do you feel it went? What was going through your mind? Were you nervous?
I was very, very nervous.
Yeah.
That was like my first date ever.
Mm-hmm.
Like I had, because obviously, with my parents being Asian, they were like,
yeah,
listen, high school ain't no place for games. Like, you gotta get good grades.
Yeah.
You gotta do well in school, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
So that was basically that.
What? I never even got to ask, to take a step back. What did you like about her in the first place? What got you enamored?
At the time, I was just like, I liked her personality. I liked her personality a lot. She was just super genuine. She was super nice, and she had a passion for what she did. And I was very, very like into that.
Nice, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That was it.
I want to make sure we didn't stray away from the first date scene. All right. So again, tell me, how did that first date go? How did you feel? What was going through your head?
It went pretty well. We just talked about, how we were in high school, where we were going, things that we liked, things that we shared in common. Pretty much like, everything that you would expect from a first date. We were there for about 2 hours, I think.
Okay.
And yeah, that was basically it. We walked away from it. We were just like, you know what? This was pretty cool. We should do this again. And second date came and went by, we were just like, so I asked her, I was like, do you want to be my girlfriend? She was like, yeah. And that was it.
What the fuck? Swish! What? This man is dunking on the second date? What in the world is your... was the world ending then? I'm sorry, what was the rush? I'm sorry.
I had no clue what was going on. I'm gonna be honest. I was just like, she seems cool, we were vibing. We talked for like what? We texted a bunch, in between like the first and second date. The second date was actually really nice because we went to downtown. We were just vibing. We were just having fun pretty much the whole day. And that was when I asked. I was like, because at that point I was just like, she's pretty cool. I think I could get to know her a lot more. And we could like just make it official, and that was it.
Holy, ladies and gentlemen in the chat, that's not a beanbag chair or whatever in the background. That's his ball sack. All right, that's how big his balls are. To be asking a lady on the second date to this is it. That's out of pocket. That's absolutely out of pocket. I've never heard someone, especially in Twitch. I've interviewed 76 people. You are the first person to tell me, oh, yeah, second date. Yeah, why not? Just everyone over here is clammy, throwing up. They have some sort of dramatic shit. You over here, oh, yeah, let's coffee. All right, coffee went well, 2 hours. No problem. Say less. Downtown. Now you with me downtown? Great. That is you got something working with you there. I respect it. Let me ask this. How long did the relationship last?
It lasted about 6 months.
Okay.
College definitely changed like a lot of my friends and a lot of their relationships as well. I know
Mhm.
going into college, literally every single one of me and my friends in our little group were all taken, and now one of us is in a relationship.
Mm. Okay.
So I
And
think, especially what is it? Especially with like, you know, especially with like Asian kids going into college, like they're at home their entire life, like they're not able to do a whole lot,
yeah,
especially with their parents like being, super strict and everything like that.
yeah.
They go to college, no one's there to, do anything, no one's there
Mhm.
to stop them from doing anything, and they just go wild.
Correct.
And it,
Completely
it was
correct.
like a huge mindset change that happened. Like she felt like a whole different person, and I was just like, man, this is not the same person that I got to know 6 months ago.
Wow.
And
Wow.
it was like slow, but I also like looking back at it now, there was definitely like like a good bit of manipulation involved.
Uh,
But you know,
let me clarify some things because I think I'm getting a little bit confused. Did you guys go to the same university?
no.
Okay, so two different universities, and so she was kind of living her life, you were living yours, but you guys were together, correct? During that
Mm-hmm.
time period. Okay.
Yeah.
What were some of these changes that you saw in her as time went by?
Um, she was really passionate about like what she wanted to do.
Mhm.
Um, when I first got to know her, which was like really interesting stuff. Um, like she would always talk about her career. She'd always talk about helping other people because she wanted to be she wanted to be a biomedical engineer.
Yeah.
Um, and so you know
Okay.
she was super cool. But like as college went by, it was just like you start getting into partying and you start going off the walls.
Hmm.
And at that point, it's just like it was less of like she would do her own thing and then go party and then call me at like demon hours. I'd be awake, obviously, because I'd just be playing video games with my friends. But
Hmm.
she would call me and just talk to me for like the whole time. And at that point, like it wasn't really, I guess, anything bad. But it was definitely like she stopped respecting like my time outside of the relationship,
Wow.
if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because like I spent a lot of time like with her. Like I first semester of college, I took this one class on Tuesday and Thursdays. um and on like I would literally skip that class because I took it in high school. I just didn't get the AP credit for it. I'd literally skip that class to drive downtown to go see her, and I would spend the entire day with her. Like I would leave at 11 a.m. from my house, be downtown in 30 minutes. I'd come back home at 11:30,
Hmm.
and my parents don't know that how much I've spent, like how much time I've spent like driving downtown, but they probably will after they see this. But we're
Oh
gonna
my
be
gosh.
talking for a good bit after that.
I'm gonna get an email. All right, this is all right. I'm gonna get a. I think I'm gonna get a tweet longer from Mr. and Mrs. Switch is what I'm expecting. All right, this is not
It's how
correct.
it
This is
is
not
though. It's how it
representation.
is though.
So, I guess the natural question I would ask in your relationship with this individual, 6 months is quite a bit of time. Uh, at what moment did you realize you kind of fell out of love?
Um, it was it was more gradual than I would like to. It was more gradual than I expected, but it all just hit like one day in December.
Okay.
I was going to a concert. Like I wanted to buy her concert tickets because I was seeing Maddie in concert.
Hmm.
For if you don't know, Maddie is a very very famous EDM producer. He's really big in the EDM scene.
Oh,
Uh,
nice.
and he dropped an album I think 2 years ago. But he has been touring, and he toured to celebrate the release of that album. So he came by. He came by Atlanta. I was like, "Yo," me and a couple of my friends, we were going, and we were just at dinner. Um, that day, I had, I'd parked at the college. It was game day there, so I
Mm,
spent like 2 hours on parking, just trying to find parking, and I ended up spending $30 on parking, and
mm.
I'd have to leave in like 3 hours anyways. And I was like, man, I didn't even want to be there at that point. Like, I just wanted to go get dinner and then go hang out at like the concert because I was trying my best to just be like, I just wanted to vibe. I just wanted to hang out.
Yeah.
But then, she was in class because it was a Friday afternoon. She was in class, and so I was hanging out with some of my friends that weren't in class. We were just playing soccer in the courtyard. She texts me when she gets back, and so I'm just there. Like I show up. I show up to her dorm probably like 30 minutes after she gets back because I'm just having fun with my friends because I made a bunch of
Mhm.
friends at the university. Like that wasn't just her. Like obviously, as you stay at as you stay places, like you just meet more people. Like I got to become
Yeah.
a lot more affiliated with her friend group. Their friend group got to become a lot more they got to know a lot more about me. So it was
Yeah.
fun. They're a bunch of really cool guys. Like I'm still friends with all of them.
That's awesome.
And yeah, like they're a bunch of really really cool guys. And but what is it? I was there probably like 30 minutes after she got back from class, and she was not happy. And I was just like, "What's going on?" And she was just like, "You're like literally just not spending enough time with me." And I was just like, "Wait a minute, hold on, what?" Because
Mm.
I literally just gotten there. She was in class the whole time,
Mhm.
so it didn't matter, you know. Like I can't. I'm not just gonna go into your class while you're learning
Yeah.
because like I'm not listen, like I'm not gonna do that.
Mhm.
And it's just like the more and more after that, after we waited for my cousins to get here, and then we went to dinner. And at dinner, she was just being super passive aggressive, and I was just like, "What the hell is going on?" Um, and she was just talking about me not spending enough time with her, like me not being as committed into the relationship, even
Wow.
though like I was doing everything I could. Like I literally
Yeah.
skipped class to go see her. I'd
Yeah.
spend the weekends. I would literally like every time that I had free time, it was just being with her like in person.
Okay.
um, and I feel like I did a lot for that relationship, even though like I didn't like I spent a lot of money mostly on parking, and I didn't really like spend a whole lot of money on like gifts and stuff like that, just because I'm a broke ass college kid
Yeah.
without a job, first of all. So
Exactly.
like I had no income source, and I was just like, man, I spent like a ton of money on parking,
Yeah.
and it was just like whatever we could do, like obviously I'd go out of my way to try and pay for it,
Mhm.
because I didn't care about the money. I just cared about enjoying my time with her and making her feel happy.
Mm.
But at that point I was just like, even with like everything that I'm doing, if I wasn't at the time, I didn't think that like I was being or at least like she wasn't being respectful of my time like outside of the relationship. At the moment, like I thought that I was the problem. I thought like if everything, like even if through everything, like I wasn't the one for her. Like even
Wow.
if like through everything I was doing, like if she still wasn't, like if I still wasn't able to make her happy, like I was the problem. And so that was that. um but like that night after the concert, I was like, we got back to the college campus, and
Mhm.
she asked if she could see me for a little bit, and I was like, all right, cool, I might as well, because my cousins wanted to just like walk around the campus anyways, because they had a couple friends there as well. And so I was like, all right, y'all can go hang out with your buddies. I'll go hang out with like my girlfriend. And then we did. As soon as I get into her dorm, she starts talking to me about like me not spending like any time with her in the relationship, and I'm just like, dog, I literally would have bought you concert tickets, but you said you didn't want to go because you had a final 2 days from now. Like, make it make sense,
Mhm.
you know? And I'm just like, at that moment, I was just like, there's no shot. Like, I started to get peeved off, and I was just like, listen, if you're not gonna respect like my time outside of this relationship, I don't think like I don't think this is gonna work out. because
Yeah.
like you got to understand that like I'm my own person as well. Like I have my own responsibilities. I want to do some things as well, you
Mm.
know. Um, but yeah, that was about it. That was all that happened, and then I was just like, all right, I'm gonna let you think about this. You know, I don't want to be here to make you any more emotional. Just want to let you think about this, and then I just left. Like that was the night that I started thinking that I was like maybe this isn't like what I want.
Hmm.
And yeah,
Who broke it off?
me.
All right. And I guess the second point I have for when you drop that line of "you don't respect my time," how did she react?
She was very offended to say the least,
Yeah. Yeah.
which I completely expected.
Mm.
But you know, I was just like, it's true. Like I don't care who I'm talking to at this point. If I don't agree with it, like I'll speak out against it. You
Is there
know,
any chance of going back?
there was because what is it in I broke up with her last January, and she was just like, "Oh, I miss you a lot." Like, because I enjoyed the
Ooh,
time we
she hit
had
you with the
together.
miss
I
you.
I enjoyed the time we had together. I'm not gonna lie, it was fun. It was a good relationship until like the end of it. At the end of the
Yeah.
day, I didn't go back with her.
Hmm.
I was like, "Listen, what happened happened. People can change, and I
Yeah.
wish you the best of luck, but not with me." All right.
Mm.
So at the end of the day, didn't get back together with her
Yeah.
because it was good until it wasn't.
Yeah. I mean that that initial phase, the newness of a relationship is always fresh, and then when you settle in and you start seeing each other's patterns and who they are as a person, it's kind of that the cream rises to the top. You always see the truth, and there it is.
Yep.
Do you in relationships, Switch? This is gonna sound like a weirdly either vague and more deep than it needs to question. You it sounds like you put the others before yourself a lot. Maybe not even in a romantic relationship, but with friendships, family, a lot. Do you end up, is that, am I hitting a spot there? Do you do that a lot?
Yeah, I do that. Probably way more than I should.
May I ask if a follow up then to that,
Hmm.
like a personal one? All right. Do you value yourself as a person? Like, do you see the value of who you are?
I used to not. I definitely there was a point in time where I used to just not. Um, but now I feel like I do now, but I definitely could be a lot better with that.
What
Cause
changed? Oh, sorry.
oh no no. I was just gonna go into like what changed. So,
Mm-hmm.
but I think I don't know. I stopped really like thinking about um I stopped thinking about like what I can. I guess I still want to make people happy. Like that's
Yeah.
always been the goal.
Yeah.
No matter what I do in life, I just want to make people happy. But now at that point, like at this point, it's like if I can't make myself happy, and if it's draining for me to be happy for other people,
Mm-hmm.
um, then I should at least like take care of myself so that I can make other people happy
Yeah.
at the very least. Even like as much as I didn't respect myself like back then, um, I at least respected myself to continue to make people happy and
Mm-hmm.
to like at least try my best to do so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, because I mean that's a classic case of hearing the line over and over again. You're not spending enough time to me already. That's such a red alert. But seceding your position and giving into that is also a red alert in my eyes of like, oh shoot, you're giving too much. Like there needs to be balance. Like where's the balance? And I'm trying to understand that and hear that from your story, but it sounded like there was such an imbalance that it was a lot of take, and not enough give and take in the relationship.
Hmm.
And enough was enough. And there's only so much, you're trying to live your life and carry your own life. And again, you're in a very unique position where literally you're on the precipice of something new, of growing into who you are as an adult, as a professional, all of that. Um, and it's a shame that I don't want to dog on her. That this is not the prerogative of the show, but it's a shame that things couldn't work out, and she couldn't see that.
Yeah.
And you guys grew apart through that. Let's talk about the present, though. Switch, all right? Too many tears are being spelled in the chat, and let's talk about the present. First and foremost, the question's got to be: are you in a place where you could see yourself dating right now?
No, not really.
Why?
I just feel like not. I don't really want to be committed to anything at the moment.
Hmm.
Even though like people see Twitch as a commitment, like I don't. Like I don't have to stream every single day. Like if I'm not, if it doesn't make me happy, like I don't have to do it. And
Wow.
I want to be like that as well. Like I just want to be like that for everything. At the moment, I kind of just want to figure out what I want first, then put myself in a position where I can, where I'm willing to like be
Man.
committed to something.
So it would be safe to say then, if I would ask you, what do you want? It would simply just be an I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the moment, I have no clue.
Okay. And so then if I were to specifically ask you, what you would be looking for in a relationship, not even in the ballpark.
Nope.
No. What are you attracted to, Switch?
That is a good ass question because I have no clue anymore.
Hey,
I'm not gonna lie.
that's why I'm here, Switch. That's why that's why I exist on the internet. All right, because I ask these questions. You say, wait, you say you don't know anymore. What does that mean?
Well, I mean, obviously, like in terms of my sexuality, I am straight. But
Yeah.
in terms of like personality, as long as they are, nice, compassionate, they're not like, disrespectful in like any way, then like, if I can see myself being friends with them,
Mm-hmm.
then that's like way more than enough for me at the moment.
Yeah. I like that. And again, nothing set in stone. We'll see. But it sounds like you just need your time for you to evaluate your own life, where you're at, and what you want out of it.
Yeah.
That's so cool. I'm excited for you, man. I'm excited for you. I think there's so much still to be unfolded from your story. You might be the first person ever that I need to interview again if I'm still doing this shit in 2 years. So I want to know what happens, because this is again, it's a lot of stuff at the tip of your fingers, and who knows where you could be. But that's awesome.
Oh yeah, no. Especially with like, especially with like I guess everything that's going on right now,
Mm-hmm.
both with the like what's going on Twitch and what's going on with my personal life. It's like
Yeah.
it's crazy. Like
Mm-hmm.
you really never know what's gonna happen.
Not at all. Not at all. But I'm here for it. I'm here for the show. All right. I'm committed. If you're not committed, I'll be committed in this one. All right. I'll keep you honest with that. But I appreciate you, Switch. You've killed it. That's everything for the life story. I appreciate how much you've shared, and your candor, and most of all your willingness to participate in this. Like I said at the beginning, it's a gift to be able to listen to someone's story, and to treasure that, and celebrate it. And there's a lot to celebrate and from your story, and to learn. So I appreciate it, and I thank you for that, Switch. But that being said, we're switching over again. No pun intended, but it's just too easy. To the community questions. All right. So over the course of this evening, everyone that's been watching has been entering questions. There are only a couple. There are only a couple rules to this segment. All right, Switch. You don't have to answer them, but I will read them aloud. I'm gonna try my best to sift out any sus ones, but you don't have to answer them. If you do, go ahead, answer it. And if any of them are just react Andes, react accordingly. All right, that's it.
All right.
That's everything. You got all the control. Again, exclamation mark Q if you have any last minute questions. First one here says, "Have you ever eaten makeup?" Smiley face. Go ahead. Go ahead. Take your time.
No, I have not. I have not.
This is clearly targeted, and it's clearly an inside joke. So, can you please explain to me why someone would assume that you have?
So there is a couple of people that
Okay.
believe that
Okay.
makeup tastes good.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that they're asleep at the moment, but
Okay.
I'm like, listen, I don't understand it. I don't understand it.
It's madness.
People think they talk about like a couple months ago they were talking about eating like this peach makeup, and I was like, there is no shot that you guys actually eat that stuff.
Yeah, that's nasty. That's
I'm like,
nasty.
nah, bro.
Have you ever like hugged your ma and you got a little bit of her perfume waft in your mouth? It's gross. It's like
Yeah, I'm like,
that's the same
"Eh,
thing.
nah.
Yeah, it's disgusting. I don't know, but they do make lip gloss a little tastier nowadays. I don't know why. I don't know why I know that, or I'm not putting on. It's because of all the women I'm making out with, guys. That's the reason. Because it's all the women I'm making out with, guys. Don't you realize it's Twitch? That's oh, fuck me. All right, this is it. All right, you can throw partnership away. You can throw about me getting any women away. It's over. It's over, ladies and gentlemen. Let me read you the next one. I don't understand what this one even means. Have you ever just think ... women heart, smiley face with a bracket? I don't understand what's going on
women.
here. Yeah.
Yep, women.
And the follow up to that is, I just wanted to say, I hope you're having a good day. No questions, heart. That's what
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I've noticed that a lot in your community. They're very kind to you. Like your community is one of the nicer ones to you, because usually they come in and they roast the fuck out of the guests. Like they realize the power that they have early on in the show of, oh, my streamer's going on someone else's show. They're pretty much uncomfortable and powerless. Let's give them hell. Like that is usually the kind of the the anthem of how it goes. But for you're pretty tame.
I mean, it can get kind of wacky sometimes.
Yeah.
Tuesdays are definitely an exception, but today is not Tuesday.
Wait,
so we should be chilling.
What's a Tuesday?
Don't ask me what the hell goes on Tuesdays. Whenever Tuesdays happen, everybody just goes off the goop, dude. Okay. I don't know why, but everybody just goes actually bonkers on Tuesday.
I've rated your ass.
Wildest shit on Tuesdays. Wrong?
I've rated your ass on a Tuesday. What do you mean? I want to see it. I want to see it. What is? Okay. Now you,
bro. There are people talking about toes. There are people talking about fictional characters that are attractive. People are talking about literally eating makeup.
Okay.
People are talking about Amogus cock in my chat. I'm like,
wait, what's
no
Amogus cock? Oh, Amogus.
Yeah, the copy pot.
The huge ass dong. Yeah. How is that not sus? I would vote that person out in a heartbeat. I was like, there's no way the Among Us character has that big of a cock. That's factually wrong. All right,
dude. There's no way.
It physically makes no sense. It physically makes no sense.
God.
But let me read you here. What was it like when you got your first random viewer / chatter? How did it feel?
It was definitely weird, because I was just like, you're taking time out of your day to watch me play video games. That's pretty cool. But also, it was weird for me at the time, because like I wasn't used to talking to myself.
Mm-hmm.
Now I feel like I'm a lot more comfortable with that, but it was definitely weird, like talking to myself for a long time.
Yeah. No, that's something that you definitely have to learn early on too, because I think there's a misconception that just because you go live doesn't mean that someone's going to show up, and so, especially the first time.
Yeah.
And especially if you haven't invested in any other communities where they know of who you are or whatever, you're just going in raw. It's kind of brutal there. I like that. Switch, why do you have an ancient TV in your closet? What does that mean?
So I have a CRT TV in my closet. It used to be sitting right here, but I moved it into my closet like a couple months ago because we don't use it anymore. Because my parents we're actually in the process of like moving out. Just because that's a whole nother conversation that I can get into if you want me to.
Yeah.
Even though this is like the community this is like the community questions area. This kind of goes back to like life story.
There's no such thing as a format in the show. All right, this is all bullshit. I'm just here to talk. All right, buddy. The format is just for you guys. Really, I'm just here to hang out and talk. What you're moving?
All right, then we're vibing.
That's it. That's literally. I allow people to drink on this show. Do whatever you want. All right, you can go take a piss. I don't care. Like, it's the show. But what is it? First of all,
Um,
I'm confused about the TV still. That I have no closure
the
on that.
TV we've had this TV since I was a little kid, and
Okay.
we just never got rid of it.
Mm,
That's about it. I
okay.
still like I plug in my Wii to it every now and then, and I play games, and that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's a good time.
Okay.
But me and my parents are, or by me and my parents, I mean just my parents are in the process of moving back to India, probably for good.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
just because my granddad, when my grandma passed away, my granddad's because my granddad's been diagnosed with Parkinson's. He's had it for about 20ish
Sorry.
years.
Yeah.
But after that, he like his condition's been getting like worse and worse.
Mm,
Uh, he's been declining at a very rapid rate. So at this point in time, he's at the point where he can't really do anything like by himself. Like
mm,
literally everything that he does, like from standing to walking to going to the bathroom to even eating, um, is he needs help doing like everything. So most of my time spent off camera and spent off my stream is
yeah.
just helping out my parents, doing whatever I can to support them, because it's definitely tough. Because even he's like two or up until recently, like he didn't even know how much he was suffering. Just
Mm,
because like recently he got diagnosed with Lewy body dementia, which is it's basically dementia that like leads off of Parkinson's. And obviously you start seeing people that don't actually exist. You start like trying to interact with people that don't actually exist. You envision yourself in situations that you were in probably like in your past, and it's definitely really rough because like there have been days where we'll just be chilling in the living room. Like I'll be in my room doing work, he'll be vibing on the like on his chair in the living room.
yeah.
Um, and we'll be like, all right, everything's all good, and then we ask him if he wants anything to eat, and he'll like shush us because he thinks that he's in a meeting, or he
Mm,
thinks that he's at the temple, and we're just like, damn.
yeah.
Because like you can't play into it as well, because
Yeah.
if you play into like the if you play into his like false reality, then
You're
you're playing,
enabling it.
yeah, you're playing into a false reality.
Yeah.
And if you like tell him that that's not real, like you're at home, you're in Georgia, you're not in India,
Yeah.
he gets mad because obviously you're going against what he believes is real. And
Yeah.
so it's definitely tough, and it is definitely like taking quite a bit of a toll on all of us. But
Mm.
you know
Where does that leave you, though? You said your parents are going back to India. How about you?
I will be continuing my studies here because obviously I'm going to university here,
Yeah.
so I'll be continuing here. Um, at the moment, I have no idea what's gonna happen for the like past the summer semester,
Wow.
because obviously I don't know what's gonna go on with my living situation. I don't know what's gonna go on with you know anything else.
Hmm.
Like if I do have to get a job and be a full-time student, I probably won't be able to stream as much. Obviously, like I'll do my best to try and do it because I enjoy it. I love doing this.
Yeah.
I love streaming, and I if I could do it for like a career, I definitely would.
Hmm.
Just because I want to make people happy and I want to spread love and positivity over the internet because it can be a negative ass place sometimes.
Oh, it sucks.
So
Yeah.
you know,
Feel
it's
that.
just like all the time that I spend like off camera is literally either just on school or helping out my parents. And I'd love to get to get a little bit more time. Like I see myself like constantly wishing that I had more hours in the day to do more things that I want to do.
Yeah.
Because it's definitely like a full time kind of deal.
Hmm.
uh, there's no like there's no breaks or anything.
No.
One day he could be perfectly fine. He could be like the best he's ever been, and then the next day he's the worst he's ever been. So it's very like up and down, and it's just like, man.
It, first off, I appreciate you sharing that switch. That's a very that shit's real. This is the stuff that you are dealing with in real life and outside of the internet and outside once you end stream, this is the stuff that you have to face that some people, maybe all these people don't know and realize. Um you've 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 struck a chord with me too because like, especially in our culture, we do this. We don't send our I don't think they realize we don't send our grandparents or our parents to retirement homes. We
Yeah,
are, and I won't. Like it's part of my, like, if I have to be the one that takes care of my parents, that so be it. And they live with you. And
yeah,
so hearing, you know, and I don't mean to throw in my story to, to add anything else, but it's like, you know, same thing with my grandma. My grandma had Alzheimer's, and we had to help her
oh,
out, and we slowly saw her, deteriorate and pass and all that jazz. And
I'm
so
sorry to
here,
hear that.
I mean, I think I know she's in a much better place than we are here. I'm gonna be honest, but but hearing that that's your life right now, you're going through college where that's a big change and transformation in your personal life, but also trying to calm the chaos of and the fears that are going on in your own home. Um, that's a lot, and I'm glad that you felt comfortable and safe enough to share that, and I hope that your community or those that are watching can support you any way possible, whether it means, you know hanging out, giving you an ear, because I know, who helps the person that helps people is one of the questions that I always ask
Yeah,
streamers, because we put ourselves out there, and we love what we do, and we show our community love, but at the same time, you yourself, you're not invincible. You're a human, and you're going through the ringer. It sounds like, with your own personal strifes. But I mean, Swish, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of how you've been able to balance all this, and just stay strong. I got to save all the nice stuff for the end of the show, right? I can't use all the nice words now. That's the end of the show. But like, I appreciate you sharing that story. That was really dope. That was really dope. Um, this is the hardest part where I have to also transition us. I gotta transition us back to these damn ass questions.
yep.
Um, but homie, let's see here. Let's see here what we got here. Right? Oh my gosh. Okay, here. This is how bad it's gonna be. So we went from that to, hey, Switch. Have you ever thought? Have you ever thought about doing an IRL cosplay of your Minecraft skin? It would be very neat.
That would be cool. No, yeah, that'd be sick.
Yeah.
I need to find out where the hell I'm gonna get a purple anorak or a purple hoodie. I can probably dye one of my hoodies purple because I have a
Yeah.
lot of them. But yeah, it'd be sick. I'd love to do that.
Uh, okay. I'm confused by this one. Switch once said he would rather get with a car exhaust before getting a fursuit, so I want to know from which car. What do you mean getting with? Are you talking about fucking a car? Sir, are you sir, excuse me? Excuse me, sir? Sir? Are you talking about fucking a car?
Listen. Hear me out. Okay. Hear me out. This was a DM that I sent, where I said I would rather fuck a car exhaust before getting a fursuit. All right. I'm just saying.
It sounds like Cars 1 and 2 hit different then. It sounds like that. It sounds like Mortar from Cars is
No way, dude.
yeah.
No. Listen.
You a freak, dude. No wonder you didn't resonate with the fox, because you weren't trying to fuck a fox. You were trying to fuck a car. I see you now, Switch. I see you now. It's elementary, my dear Watson. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
You really don't like that first shit, right? That's insane. That's insane.
Dude, I've been getting called a furry since I started streaming, bro. I am over it.
What was the giveaway? Why did that even start as a joke in your community?
I have no idea. I'm gonna be honest. I have no clue.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember how it started, but it just did.
Okay. All right. Jeez. Hold on. I'm breezing a few that we've answered. Who is Switch's biggest inspiration for streaming?
Ooh, that is a good question. That is a very good question. At the moment, it'd probably be Boomer. At the
Yeah.
moment, it'd definitely be Boomer.
Why so?
That man goes in, does what he loves every single day, and spreads positivity, and like encourages other people to just do what they enjoy.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, he is a hell of an inspiration for me, just because he enjoys doing like what he does every single day. Like, there's no reason for him to not enjoy streaming because he's just himself. He's like, there's no reason for him to. He's not like a different person off camera than he is on camera.
Yeah.
Is what I'm trying to get at here.
Yeah.
And that's what I think is so amazing. Because like the people that watch Boomer, the people that support Boomer, they support him. They support Dylan. They don't support Boomer NA like as a streamer.
Mm,
They support him as a person,
I love that.
which is amazing. I think the fact that Boomer's been able to blow up these past couple months. I know Boomer first rated me back in November. That's the only reason I found him. Because my stream title back then was World's Unluckiest Man Speedruns Minecraft. And I remember he came into my chat and he was just like, I heard you're the world's unluckiest man.
Yeah.
I'm here to try and give you some luck. And ever since then, like I've been a part of
Wow.
his community and I've enjoyed being a part of it the
That's
entire
huge.
way through.
Isn't it?
I've loved watching him blow up and, just continue spreading like love and positivity across the internet.
It's crazy how our worlds intersect in that way. It took literally just your title, and Boomer checks you out, and then now this relationship forms, and now you've got this discourse with him, and that's so awesome. That like, and it's also so strange that that's kind of just how life works. It's just
Yeah.
it's per chance, but it's also intention. But that's awesome. I did notice a lot of your tweets when I was going through them to talk to you about them. A lot of them were gassing up Boomer, and now it makes more sense. Because at first I was just like, okay, these are a lot of really nice tweets. But to see the influence that he, as a content creator, as a streamer, and as a human, let's take away all the fucking CC titles. As a human, to inspire you and reach out to you and what an entrance, trying to give you a little bit of luck. Did it work?
Unfortunately not. However,
Yeah.
maybe not on the Minecraft side, but definitely on the Twitch side.
Yeah, definitely. For those that may not understand, what do you mean by that? What do you mean on a Twitch side versus a Minecraft side?
He has definitely like supported me a ton.
Yeah.
What is it? I think if it wasn't for Boomer, I wouldn't be where I am today. Like I definitely would be here at some point in time, but I definitely wouldn't have grown as fast as I did.
Yeah.
Because he gave me that little push that I needed, and he gave me some of the exposure that I needed early last month to, to be able to get partnered, to be able to, interact with hundreds of people every single day, and make their nights just a little bit better. And it's amazing the things that like the things that he's done for other people, especially like his friends, a bunch of different smaller streamers. Like I know literally a couple days ago there was an artist who he was watching who had like 3 people, and he tweeted out for all of his Noti gang, he tweeted out, he was like, go support. And all of a sudden this person goes from like 3 people to like well over 300-400 people, and just everybody's spamming hearts, everyone's like gassing him up, supporting their art, and like it was insane. It's amazing. Like the things that he does is absolutely incredible.
I've said this time, like I said this at the very end of his, and I'll say it again, like for someone of his size to share his platform with smaller, because you hear this a lot. You hear smaller creators or creators that are blooming that are like, I can't wait to get back to that. He puts his money where his mouth is. He talks the talk, he walks the walk. That that will drive my respect through the roof. And so to see that, I'm immensely impressed and honored to also be a part of that switch. I'd be selfish and ignorant not to say the same thing, that he agreed to go on this random ass show with some Moms Online guy. The name alone, the whole reason I want to check mark is just so I could change my name, to be out frank with you. but
what would you change your name to? Would you change it to just Moms?
Yeah, it would just be Moms. Cleaner.
That'd be cool. That'd be really cool.
I appreciate that. This one has a few details about you, so I'm going to X out some of the details, but I'm just going to ask you the question. It says, I know you're studying CS. Now that you've been growing as a streamer, where do you see yourself in 3 years? Is Twitch something you see yourself doing until you go through school, or are you planning on pursuing a career in Twitch with CS as a backup plan?
I definitely would like to have a career on here with obviously the degree being a backup. But we'll see where it goes.
Mhm.
You never know what's gonna happen. Hopefully, I can turn this into a career. I can like impact other people's lives, and I can make people happy and just be entertaining. But if all else fails, I will always have a backup with the degree, which is probably like the main thing that's keeping me going right now, or at least through like college. With
Oh,
not including my parents threatening to beat my ass if I drop out of college, but
true. Oh my gosh, don't. That's not even an option. Like all the American. I'm gonna say American so we don't add any colors to this, but all
yeah.
the American ones, like yeah, why not? Who cares? Whatever. And I just sit there quietly, and I'm just like, must be nice. That's really cool that
Yep.
you
If
could.
I talked to my parents about dropping out,
Boom.
my ass would be like gone.
Yeah.
It'd be over, dude.
Or they call your parents by their first name. Hey, Linda. I was like, really? You're gonna call them? You're gonna call your mom by your first name? Excuse you? Last time I did that, I got slapped in the face. I did that. I tried that last Sunday. I still see my parents every week. All right, give them a little kiss, and I'm like, hey, real name of my mom, and she's like, and I was like, all right, yeah, you're right. And we were at church.
Yep.
Anywho, she didn't care. She was trying to send me to the Lord early.
Yep.
And this one, I speak like I'm a million. I speak way older than I should be for the internet. Now that you've talked about your real girlfriend, what caused you to pursue finding a Minecraft girlfriend? What does this mean? What does this mean?
So, all right. So, what is it? About a month ago,
Yeah.
I was supposed to do a stream where I installed a mod for Minecraft that had like Minecraft girlfriends in it.
Uh,
Um, I
what?
need to order a new SSD because Forge for some reason just crashes every single time I load up a mod. Like it will literally blue screen my computer and there's nothing I can do. Um, but
Yeah.
when I do get a new SSD, that'll be the first stream that happens. Because I was like, at first it was a complete joke.
Hmm.
Um, but then I was like, this could be funny as hell. And I was like looking forward to it.
Hmm. Well, I'm pretty sure that's the movie Her, right? Where they're kind of dating the OS. Is that what you're trying to do, Ringer? I'm kind of dating a Minecraft character. I'm more curious as to what again, no one understood that reference other than people that are over the age of 20 or so, 19 to
Oh
20.
my
Everybody
god.
else, what the fuck is this old man talking about? And they're right. Um, in the last 2 months, your channel has grown by 500%. I don't know where they got that stat, but all right, 500%. At what point do you let it get to your head?
Uh, I just don't think about it. I'm not gonna lie.
Hmm.
Like it's always been that way. I've never had. Well, I had my viewer count on for like the first 3 months that I streamed, and then after that, after one of my buddies was like, "You should turn it off," and then I was like, "All right, bet." Because I used to focus on like the numbers a ton. Because I am a person like as a person I'm very like analytical. I like to dissect things and I like to make sense out of literally everything that I can.
Hmm.
Um, but turning off like the viewer numbers and like seeing the follower number is just like it's not like it's literally that's all it is. It's just a number,
True.
you know. Like uh, to me, it'll always be, you know, 15,000 people that actually like enjoyed my stream enough to, click the follow button and to at least try to stay like in like up to date with what I'm doing. Like that's
Yeah.
crazy to me.
Yeah.
Like I always try to go like beyond like just the number part of it because once you get big enough, obviously you can't like get to know everyone in your community.
Yeah.
But as soon as like once you're especially when you're like this size, like you're grateful enough to be able to get to know people in your community and get to know them like as people and not just as
Hmm.
a Twitch viewer or as a number,
As a number. Yeah.
which I'm very very grateful for.
It's interesting because on Wednesday I was talking with a couple other streamers and everyone, including myself. I'm not gonna ever put myself, out of it if I said it, but it's like a lot of us get jaded about that follower number. Many streamers like, who cares? It doesn't matter. It's not a stat that's important. And while that might be statistically correct, um, the way you worded how that was that 15K people cared enough to even press that button. 15K people cared enough to make a little bit of an extra effort to stay in contact with what you're doing. And you never know. Maybe they'll come back at some point. Maybe they're having a rough day, or maybe they rediscover their love of Twitch, and then you happen to be live, and they can rekindle that relationship that they had with you. That's really cool. And I hope to never lose that, and I hope to not forget that point of view, because I think that's really what it's all about, honestly. No, to
Yeah.
like the only reason we're relevant is because people will make us relevant. We really don't. We have no right. Everyone. We're all people. We all have our own opinions, feelings, and all that. But
100%.
I love what you've said right there. I think you might have changed one of my opinions too. I might have to come correct. I might have to come out with my own twit longer. My experience with moms. He's a monster here. Let me see here. It goes, if you didn't ask already, is there anyone Switch is romantically interested in at the moment, whether it be official or a simple crush? Do you have any crushes? I know you said you're not. Wow, damn, cut dry.
Nah.
Holy cow. Pure to the business, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep. Married to the grind at the moment.
There it is. Okay, this next one you're going to have to help me understand. I have no idea what this acronym is. What Switch is MBTI?
NBTI.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I'm not gonna lie.
That's totally fine. I got no idea what an MBTI is.
Is that the personality test?
Maybe. Do you know that? Have you taken a Myers-Briggs?
I have, but it's been a
Ooh.
while.
Do you remember what not the letters, I know that might be too hard to remember, but do you remember what style of personality you fell under or what you classified
Not at all.
as?
I think it was INTJ, if I'm not mistaken.
Ooh, I don't know what that one is.
Or
INTJ.
Is it INT? Is that INTJ or INTP? I'm not too sure.
Oh, damn. I don't remember that one. I don't memorize these ones, man. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I took it last semester for one of the courses that I had to take. But yeah.
Fair play. This one, they even wrote their name. I could read this aloud. Hey, Switch, I've had a lot of trouble putting myself before other people. I like to help people a lot, and it's what keeps me going, The only time I put myself before anyone else is if I've pushed the edge. I was wondering if you have any advice, and that's coming from Valen Globe.
I would say you're only able to help other people as long as you can, Like if you're physically incapable of doing that, or if you're in a position where you literally cannot help other people, then, obviously you're not going to be able to do that. So it's important to take care of yourself and to put yourself first and understand, what your limits are and where you stand, especially like in terms of your mental health and your physical health, and just to make sure that you're not, biting off more than you can chew, in any facet of life.
Nice. What color of cat ears would you get?
I don't know. I'm gonna be honest.
Okay.
There's a lot of cool ones. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Okay.
People have been sending me links. They've been pretty good ones.
Okay. Are you a meow meow or a woof woof?
What the hell does that mean?
I don't know. But I'm an adult that had to read that, all right?
What is it? I remember I was talking to Muba group chat about this.
Yeah.
They all collectively agreed that I am a woof woof, apparently.
What does that mean? What is that?
I don't know what the hell that means.
It's just this man
But
doggy style. All right, that's all right. So you're a wolf. I would be losing money, Switch, if I didn't make these jokes. All right, this is what I do for a living. I've been holding back. If you think I'm a freak, someone in here just sent me the Among Us cock in the chat of my. I've never seen this in my question. Whoever put the Among Us cock, that question
I
is.
think I know who it is.
Who? Give him a shout out. Who do you think it was?
It's either It's either bingo or literally his Twitch username is Amogus Cock.
That's ridiculous, and it was huge. All right. Okay, someone is putting you on a. Someone just says, "Can Switch be Discord meow meow?" Ooh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. This is a fever dream. I think I've had this. This is a
Oh
panic
my
attack for
god.
me. Okay, this one is in quotation, so I'm assuming you've said this. Mirror, mirror on the wall, will this man give me his balls? Explain this.
uh, so when you trade with piglins in Minecraft, which is what you have to do
Okay.
to speedrun, you can. There's a chance of you getting ender pearls, which I like to call ender balls.
Okay.
So one day I said, because you have a 5% chance of getting them out of any trade. So I
Mm-hmm.
said, mirror, mirror on the wall, can this guy give me his balls? And then I got a pearl trade like three trades later, and I was like, I bet.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, this man's the belle of the ball. All right, you climbed up his leg, took a ball. Here, this one says, what's the best way to explain yourself in one sentence?
I just vibe.
They're just hanging out.
That's
It's
it.
just a pure party. If you feel comfortable answering this one, go ahead. If not, I totally understand. Where in India are you from? Smiley face.
I'm from like the very south of India, like from Tamil Nadu.
Nice. Um, how has your experience with your grandfather changed your outlook on life?
That is a very deep question. What the hell? That actually goes so far. We just went from "Can you be my Discord kitten?" Woo to deep life story.
I'm doing my best, man. These questions come at me at any moment. It's left hook, right hook, uppercut. I have no control over this. All right. I'm
That's a good
simply
question,
reading.
though.
It's
That is
great.
a good
Yeah.
question, though. Definitely, it's definitely like life is super fragile.
Hmm.
I've come to learn that, especially through like the last year. Like you never know what's gonna happen.
Hmm.
Because we thought that like everything was gonna be fine. Like we didn't think that things were gonna progress as far like as fast as they did. To the point where my grandpa is like basically bedridden at this point. So it's definitely changed my outlook. Like I used to be a lot less like caring. I used to just be like like I guess I don't know how to word it at the moment, but it's like I'm a lot more sympathetic for people that have lost like family members through like any means, whether it be like old age or just like I know a bunch of people have lost like family members to COVID and like especially with how COVID is ravaging parts of the world right now.
Hmm.
It can definitely be rough. Even like especially with people with pre-existing conditions, like if they catch COVID, they will likely not see the end of it, and it's just like you know it's crazy to think about that. It's crazy to think like we're so strong as like individual beings, being able to survive as long as we did, like as humans, just like as a society.
Yeah.
Um, but also just how fragile life is. Like there we can literally get shot and still live, but like you can also just pass away at any given point in time.
I like that. Okay, another mood swinger. All right, Switch. Why are we getting off the goop so much? What? You want a goop?
Nah.
All right, all
It's not
right.
legal. It's not legal here.
Hey, yeah. Say less, say less. I got you. I see what you're doing. I see what you. Hey, your boy used to be a Sunday school teacher. All right, I've heard it. I've heard it all. All right, I've heard enough. I've heard enough. All right, I've heard enough. Um, let me go off here. Does Switch sustain you? That's a very good question. Holy cow, it's a
The
weirdly deep.
Switch.
I mean, does Twitch sustain you?
Oh, Twitch.
Yes.
Like that's a very vague question, but that's also a really good question. In terms of like happiness, absolutely.
Hmm.
I love doing this every single night, and every single night I go live, I'm excited to get to talk to people, to get to hang out with more and more people, and to get to make like certain people's days. Because I know, like every single night, or not even every single night, but like there have been like multiple times a night where people come into my chat and they're just like, "Hey, I haven't been having the best day, and I'm very happy that you're streaming today." And I'm just like, you know what? That makes me happy. If I can make your night just even the slightest bit better, if I can entertain you like in any capacity, that makes my night, and that makes me extremely happy.
Mhm.
Um, and I'm very, very grateful to be able to do this like at all. Like not even just me being able to do it every day, but you know, it's incredible. In terms of as a career at the moment, I'm not too sure. Just because I don't know if I'm gonna like live in this house. I don't know if I'm gonna have to live like off campus in an apartment. Um, but I guess we'll figure it out.
Mhm.
I'll still continue streaming as much as I can, just because for me it's not about the money. Like even though eventually it will be, eventually
Mhm.
at some point I will have to care about how much I make from doing this and how much time I put into it.
Yep.
But until then, we're vibing, we're chilling. I just make people happy, and that's all I could ever ask for.
Perfect. I'll read you five more here. All right. I'll read you five more. Uh, I won't count any that are just reactions here, but I've been sifting through. Here's a reaction
All
one.
right.
I don't understand. Apple juice in the fridge. Is this something that you guys have been working on together? It's a reaction.
Nah, this is what is it? Somebody was talking about you know how your fridge dispenses water?
Yeah, of course.
Somebody was talking about trying to get their fridge to dispense apple juice,
That's not how that works, but okay.
and I'm just like, that's not how that works.
Eh, that's too much. That's too much. You can go through a filter. There's a whole all right, all
Yeah,
right. There's a whole process.
it's,
Um,
it's too much to talk about.
Switch. If I gave you a moi, no socks, or we keeping socks on? Okay. All right. That's gross. All right. Or moi, shoot your shot. Shoot your shot. I don't know. Actually, I don't know. Um, Not sure how you'd like to react to that, but I'll keep reading as much as I can.
Hey man, I'm just saying, it's never been socks.
Hey,
Every interaction's genuine. No socks.
no socks. A real one. Switch once woke up my entire family when he dropped off Doritos to my house at 2 a.m. in his dad's loud ass BMW.
Yep, this did happen. This is how I met him. I met this man for the first time. I've only known him through one of my IRLs.
Hmm.
Um, and I had never seen him. I'd never talked to him until we got on a Discord call at 2 a.m. one night last year. I think this was like February of last year. And I jokingly was like,
Mm-hmm.
"Yo, I'm gonna go to the gas station to get some snacks. Y'all want anything?" And yeah, this guy was like, "Yeah, hit me up with a purple Doritos and a Dr Pepper." And I was like, "You dead ass?" And he was like, "Yeah, on God, I'll DM you my address and everything." DMs me his address. I pull up and I deliver.
That's big, and the fact that he has some gall to ask for the purple Doritos. First of all, those are delicious. Second,
They're so good.
damn, you came through. You came through. Um, let's see here. It says, "What makes you so humble? You always say you're just some stupid kid who plays Minecraft, but it's so much more than that. You've really saved so many of us, and I really appreciate that. Heart, heart."
I mean, that's really all it is. Like I do what I can to make people happy, and to me, I'm just some stupid kid playing Minecraft every night trying to make people happy. So, you know, I for me personally, it's just like I don't want to make myself seem like I'm bigger than I really am, because I don't want to, you know, it's very easy to tell like who has an ego and who doesn't.
Hmm.
Um, so it's just like, I don't want to involve myself in like, I guess, what is it? I don't know how to word it. Damn. But it's like I don't feel like I'm as big as I really am, you know? Cuz like just a couple months ago, literally back in November, I was streaming. I just hit like 1,000 followers. I was streaming to 10 people
Hmm.
every night. And I was like, "Man, this is cool."
Yeah.
And like to me, I'm still that kid that's streaming to like 10 people every night with like 3 of my IRLs just popping in and
Hmm.
just hanging out. Like that's just how I portray myself like to myself.
I like that. I like that. Switch, do you wish you had any siblings?
Yeah, I wish I did because being an only child, it's nice because you don't have to share anything, but it's also it can get kind of lonely. I'm not gonna lie. I do wish that like apart from having friends, I had like someone to just constantly interact with and just
Hmm.
like constantly bother because it's cool. Like as much as people that have siblings are just like siblings suck, you don't want them. I don't know. Being an only child kind of sucks too, to an extent.
Hmm.
But yeah.
We got a follow up from the Doritos guy. He goes, "Hey, I'm the Doritos guy. I also spend like 100 weekly on this guy's stream." All right, I had to read that one. It's closure. We had to have closure on that.
Yep.
Much respect to the
Yep.
Doritos guy. Oh, what are your biggest regrets from when you first started streaming?
My biggest regrets,
Yeah.
I guess, being too into the numbers. Because I know for a time I was like really disappointed that you know, I wasn't like well, when I first started streaming, obviously like it's very easy to get into the numbers. Like I
Mm,
got affiliated in a week and I was seeing myself grow at like a rate that I'd never seen myself grow before and I was
yeah.
just like this is crazy.
Yeah.
Um but at the same time it's just like, once you stop seeing that growth and I knew like in August when I stopped playing Smash because I stopped enjoying the game online. At least I still play it like offline with a bunch of my friends, but online the game has just become unplayable, so I just haven't been enjoying it as much.
Hmm.
And I knew as soon as I switched off of Smash from August to like October, I kind of just did like variety. Like I played Among Us on stream, I played a lot of Warzone, I played zombies with my friends. Basically, I just made content like whenever I went live, I just streamed. Or
Yeah.
sorry, whenever I played games, I just streamed
Hmm.
because I was like, whatever, dude. And I lost like I went from averaging like pretty much 5, 7 people every time to I started streaming to like 0 people, like
Mm,
0 or 1 people.
damn.
Um, and then, I just was like, what if I just started doing what I enjoyed, just started playing games that I wanted to, just started doing me rather than looking at the numbers. And I think my biggest regret would probably be like looking at the numbers too much. Cause even now it's like, it's easy to focus on like, uh, it's easy to focus on like how much you're growing and, just to be overwhelmed by how quickly you're growing, especially because you have a bunch more eyes looking at you. Like I went
Mm,
from streaming to like 10 people to now I stream to like 100 or 200 every night, and I'm just like, that's a lot of people that like look at me. That's like half my graduating class,
mm-hmm.
and I'm just like, holy dude,
Yeah.
that is a lot of people that like have their own opinions about me, and it's very easy to fall into that trap of like, oh, what if people don't like me? What if people, you know, like all that,
Mm, exactly. Or you,
and
you you just fall into engrossed by it. You're overwhelmed by it, and that's where egos can get formed,
yeah,
and all that jazz. But I see that in you, where you I don't know. You this is gonna sound like a weird, pompous question, but hear me out. All right. Remember when you hit triple digits in your viewer count for the first time? I like the thought is like, oh, this is a big fucking deal, and then you realize, oh, it's just a number. Like this doesn't change the game. Like in
yeah,
terms of what you're doing on stream, you need to just be you. You need to do you, and if whoever sticks around, great. If they move on, that's life.
yeah.
But it's a weird like you're right. The numbers just it's arbitrary to an extent. Especially earlier on, it's just like I need to figure out who I am and what I'm doing here in the first place.
Mhm.
Am I trying to make this
100%.
a life, or am I doing it as a hobby? What am I expecting from my experience on Twitch as a streamer? And these are questions that I think a lot of streamers don't ask themselves. They just go live and then they're like, we'll figure it out as we go. Um, Let me read you a couple more here. All right.
All right.
First one says, quote, switch people shy, end quote. If you know who this is from, I too will get cat ears, smiley face. Who is that from?
I'm gonna say it was from Freddie. There's no
Freddie,
shot that it wasn't from Freddie.
Freddie, if that's you, you need to go buy some cat ears ASAP. All right, Freddie, you've been caught.
There's no shot.
Yeah, Freddie said, yeah, you're in. You're in. That someone clip it. That's a verbal contract. And if you back away, you'll be hearing from us. All right. I better see a photo. You can at me on Twitter. If I don't see a damn photo, Freddie, I will ban you from this chat. All right. You made me read that. You made me read that, Freddie. NMS. And now you're putting it up. I better see your ass with some cat ears pronto. All right. Brother, no, I'm just, no, but really, I'll ban you if you don't. Anyways, no, I'm stupid. Freddie, I'm stupid. It's a Friday, all right? It's a Friday. This is a weird time for me. Good call though. Way to know. Way to be on it. Why don't you ever take breaks from streaming? Is it something you just feel like you, all caps, have to do every night, or is it something you want to do every night?
It's definitely not something that I feel like I have to do. I just stream because I'm gonna be playing video games anyways. Might as well, you know.
Yeah.
It's a good place for me to unwind and to, you know, streaming has been my escape from reality for the past like year and change. So I am very, very happy to do it every night.
I feel that a lot. I aspire to be one of your IRLs one day, from someone I hope you consider close or good friend. Smiley face. Don't worry, you don't got to guess who that is. All right, no, they didn't even write their name. So, but just be on the lookout. Someone's trying to be your friend. All right, have a lookout. Someone's trying to be your friend hard.
Ooh. I'm down.
I'm
always open to more friends.
There you go. You heard it here first. Last one here reads, "Our dearest Switch, I just want to let you know how many of us you've saved. You've saved us every day. Give us a safe place to go to, and give us a home where we feel loved. We love you so much." That's anonymous too. That one's just an act of kindness.
I'm very grateful. Thank you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity for, you know, to impact your life in any way, shape, or form.
I love that. Swish, I appreciate you so much. I appreciate you spending the evening with myself and sharing your community here to get to know you a little bit better in an intimate life. But here's the thing, much like anything in life, nothing's free. So I'm gonna need two things from you, Switch. All right, you know that. Yeah, it's the typical Asian wheeling and dealing. I'm over here wheeling and dealing. All right, you know I'm a businessman now. Firstly, do you have the stream up right now?
I do indeed.
Can you pick a name? All right, that isn't myself, a mod, or a VIP. Any name. Pick a name.
Soundify.
Soundify. Yo, Soundify, are you here? Actually, it doesn't matter. Let me make sure I got it correct. Soundify. I need to spell this correctly. Wait, they're not here. Oh, yeah, they are. There you are. Soundify, you've won VIP in this channel. All right? Do you know who Soundify is? Or is this random?
Yes. No, I know who he is.
All right, there you go. Soundify has won VIP in this channel. However, I only have 5 VIPs, so that means one of them's got to go. All right? And Switch, you're going to be the person that makes that decision. Do you have your Twitter pulled up?
Could you? Not, but I can pull it up.
Okay, I'm going to DM you the 5 names of my VIPs. I want you to choose any one of them. All right? No,
okay.
There's no restrictions. Don't worry about it. I will tell you, is there any that are currently watching? I think Valen Globe is watching. So if you want to ruin his day, you can hurt him there. It's just part of the rules. But any of those 5 names, choose one. For those that are watching, it's Valen Globe, Value Pack Mac, Ninska Bins, Funky Flame, and Mr. Peckawood.
I think I'm gonna choose Mr. Peckerwood.
Wow, really went for Mr. Fat. He just got it. He just got it.
Ah,
That was Mr. Uberlicious's pick. Don't worry.
no shot.
Damn. Damn. Cups of the
You hate to
rose.
see it
You
happen.
hate to see it. Damn. Damn.
Everyone else just has cool usernames. I'm not gonna lie.
It's true. It was a hard pick. It was a
It was
hard pick.
tough. It was tough.
The second thing here, Switch, that I'm gonna need from you. All right, you've been with me for 3 hours and 18 minutes. All right, you've spent that much time sharing your life. We've gotten to talk about your time on Twitch. We've gotten to talk about your start as well as where you're at now. About your family, your friends, your education, your work history, or what you want to do for work, as well as your romantic relationships. Then we got into the community questions. We got a lot done today. It's a proactive day. You should be proud of that. But here's the thing. I'm always looking for streamers to watch. My viewpoint on Twitch is limited. You know, we only have so many times a day. And so there are a lot of great streamers out there that I'm not seeing. And whether they be huge or small, I just don't have enough time on Twitch to watch, to be frank.
Yeah.
So I ask you this, all right? Who is someone? This is just a recommendation, all right? I'm not no big pressure on you. But who is someone you would like to watch go through the exact same scenario as you've done here, to share their life story here, to talk about their time on Twitch as well as their personal life, as well as answer questions from the Peanut Gallery?
Can I only say one person?
Here's the deal, all right? I usually say one person. If you want to DM me a list, by all means, I have no problem with that. I've had a lot of streamers literally DM me 10 people, and I check them out usually. At the very least, I drop them a follow.
Yeah.
But for the sake of time, we always go with one, as well as a little bit of pressure, a little bit of drama. You know? We only choose one.
I'd probably choose. This is tough because like I actually know like a ton of people that'd be really really cool on here.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably Soundify, honestly.
You're double downing on this.
Cool.
This is a
Hey, he'd be cool.
Soundify.
He's the homie. He's been here for. He's literally watched me blow up, and you know he's an absolute homie. He's been supporting me both on camera and off camera, and I have mad respect for him.
This is a fucking Soundify promo ad if I've ever heard one right now, Switch. This is what the shit you're giving. Okay, you didn't hear it from me, guys. I don't want to put Soundify on blast right now. Homie doesn't follow, all right? No, I'm just hey, Soundify, I'll check you out, my man. I'll check you out. Nobody, hey, just do it off stream, dude. Soundify, just do it off stream. Don't do it now because it's gonna look bad. It's gonna look bad. I'm gonna look like an asshole. It's just gonna look bad, dude. All right. If you want your ass in here, let me follow you right now. I'll follow your ass right now, Soundify. But if your ass follows me right now, you're gonna make me look like a jerk. All right. Here, you got the follow. I hit you with a follow right now. But dope. I'll check him out. I'll watch some of his stuff when he goes live next. But I appreciate it. You went 2 for 2. Soundified. They're on the sticky note there. All right. That's when you know it's real. I like it. Hey, I appreciate that. But Switch, the evening is coming down to a close. All right. And because of that, we're drifting off to the last and final segment of the show, and that is the secret 10 questions. All right. Now here's the thing. This show was inspired by a television show called Inside the Actors Studio, and there's this guy named James Lipton. He was both professor and a host of the television show at an acting college, and he'd bring on celebrities, you know, actors, actresses, entertainers into his auditorium classroom, and they'd film for public television, and they would sit down and talk about their personal lives as well as their professional ones, you know, their on-screen stuff, body of work. And I was inspired by that. I loved seeing these people you'd watch on television and in movies share intimate moments of themselves, and that these personas that they played on screen were all whisked away, and you really broke it down to who they were and their upbringing. And So I've taken that challenge and I applied it here on Twitch. And again, like I've said, you're the 76th person to do this. And it's such an honor to do this time and time again. And in 76 episodes, we've ended the show the exact same way. James Lipton, professor, he would ask his guests the same 10 questions for 23 years. And I've lifted those questions and I've done the same thing. I've asked the same 10 questions to all my guests. All right? And you're not going to be no different. Only 3 rules to this segment, Switch. Only 3 rules. 1, you have to answer every question. It's non-negotiable. 2, I'm going to need you to, holy cow, I've memorized this part and now I'm blanking out. Oh, I'm not going to make any noise. I'm not going to say anything. It's going to be complete silence and I'm just going to let you talk after I say my question. And once you stop talking, I'll let a little time go and then I'll read the next question. The third thing you need to do, the third rule, is that try to keep your answers within one thought. So not one word, not one paragraph, just one idea. That's it. After that, I'll say the final pieces of the show. I'll give you the final word, and then we'll disconnect from Discord, all right?
All right.
That's everything. Are you ready, Switch?
I am.
Okay. Question 1. What is your favorite word?
Vibe.
What is your least favorite word?
Probably hate.
What turns you on?
Compassion.
What turns you off?
Fursuit.
What sound or noise do you love?
The sound of a car engine revving.
What sound or noise do you hate?
Planes.
What is your favorite curse word?
Probably bastard.
What profession, other than your own, would you like to attempt?
Oh, that's a good question. Probably a biomedical engineer.
What profession would you not like to do?
Anything in retail.
And lastly, Switch. If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
You did well.
Perfect. Ladies and gentlemen, Switch. Dude, Switch. Holy cow, you did it. I loved it. Perfect. I told you, again, I DM'd the guest, and I'm convicted of this because it's such an intimate process inviting you on and preparing you on for the show. And time again, I say, you're gonna kill it. You're gonna do well. You're gonna just relax. Give me. It's usually the first 30 minutes are when the tension's there, and then after that, we hang out and we shoot the shit. Here's the thing, though. All right, Switch. The final segment of the show, I usually take a moment and I tell the guest what we've done, and specifically what I've learned on my end. Having interviewed you for over 3 hours and
Mhm.
10 minutes now, and it's this, Switch. All right. I don't have any notes, by the way. This is all just free. This segment's always freestyle on my end. I enjoy shooting from the hip what I've learned. Off the cuff, you're extremely smart. It's almost intimidating how your intellect is showing. All right, you might want to cover it up. Your intellect is showing on Twitch. All right, it's too much. But I agree with your community. Your humility at where you are and how you hold yourself is not just commendable. It's something that I hope many want to emulate and bring into their lives, including myself. Um, you've said a lot of stories tonight that really resonated with me, both on a cultural level as well as just the way I was fucking raised. Um, and my heart really does go out to you. And if there's any time you want to talk, or if you just need someone to message, to have a heads up of what you're going through, I'm more than happy to lend an ear and a shoulder, man. I'm not gonna act. I think a lot of people, when they talk to someone else or listen to someone else's story in terms of turbulence in their life, they always have the need to either story top or act like they will fully understand what you're going through. And I refuse to be a part of that. I don't understand what you're going through. Just because I gave that story about my grandma does not mean that I understand what you're going through. Um,
Mhm.
and especially how the more I'm starting to listen to what you've said in the last hour and a half, with what's going on with grandpa, with what's going on with the move, with what's going on in your education. There's so much. And then all of that while also balancing streaming and catering to the 100, 200, whatever 100 people are watching you. That's a lot. That's a lot of pressure. And it could seem a little bit daunting. Um, but I just want to be able to let you know. I mean, I'll be the voice for those that can't vocally say it here. Thank you. Like you're loved and you're appreciated, not just by myself, but your community. I've literally had to skip over questions because it was just a overwhelming amount of just, as much as they'll make fun of the fursuits and the persona, there's so much love and respect for you, Switch, honestly. And it's evident why. It didn't take 3.5 hours for me to figure it out. It took me 10 minutes. Um, but all that to say, um, I put the human first. I put the person first before the streamer and the content and all that jazz. And I hope it's understood from those that are watching now as well as in the future. You've got a lot of stuff that's going on in your life, and I hope you're taking care of yourself and prioritizing that first, because there's no Switch without you being mentally there, and so be sure to take the time you need. Um, but man, I like from a talent level to just a persona, or not persona. Fuck that. That makes it sound phony. To who you are as a person, um, is beautiful, man. It's stunning. Like I'm refreshed by this. Twitch can get ugly very quickly. The
Oh yeah,
internet
for
can,
sure.
and so, dude, having you on here, just talking about life and just listening to you, hearing a bit of your community pop off there, it's refreshing. It's not, it gives me a little bit of hope that, you know what, maybe this place ain't that bad. Um, and you get to propagate that change, Switch. And I'm a stag for you. I can't wait to see where you go. Not just, and I said this to a lot of people, but again, I want to say it again to you. I can't wait to see where you go, whether it be on Twitch or beyond, because I think you got a lot to offer to this world, and you are a huge blessing here. Um, but Switch, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your candor. And I want to give you the final word, though. All right? what would you like to say to those that are watching here live, as well as those in the future on YouTube and Spotify?
Thank you for supporting me, for letting me do what I love every single day. That I honestly could never have dreamed that I would be able to reach more than people that I just know IRL. I say this all the time on my streams, but I mean it every single time. I really do love and appreciate each and every single one of you for who you guys are, for supporting me, for supporting my friends,
Mm,
for just being there for us, and for giving us a platform that allows us to spread love and positivity over the internet.
mm.
It's amazing.
I love that, Switch. I will say this: I got a couple things I'm cooking up, and I want you to be a part of it. I got a tournament that I'm hosting in the summer. Hey, it's for $500. You could spend it however you want. You could do it for charity or for you. I also have another show called The Network where I bring streamers together just to hang out and do community questions, and I'd love to have you a part of that too. Maybe I can get you on with Mr. Uberlicious because he's the one that nominated you. So I was like, oh, this would make
Really?
sense. Oh yeah, this would make sense. But we could talk about it in the future. I want you to take your time. No pressure. I'll hit you up and we can coordinate from there. But I appreciate you etching out some time out of your day today and your weekend especially to share your story, Switch. It was a really special one, and I'm blessed that you trusted myself with such a gift. So thank you.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I appreciate the opportunity.
Oh, of course, man. All right. You take care. I'll hit you up after the show with a thank you. But you take care, man. All right. This is the hardest part because there's no proper way to disconnect. But you take care. I'll see you later, Switch. I'll catch you again
Much
soon.
love, much love.
Much love.
Take it easy.
You too.